That is your microphone.
Yes, I guess I should.
You'll be able to hear. Yeah, you'll be able to hear.
Oh,
I could take it or leave it, really.
Right.
Yeah, really. It's okay. Yeah.
I showed up. Isn't that enough?
You'd think.
You're telling me I have to
I was
contribute.
just here for decoration.
Thank you to Vicky for setting up all of these lovely decorations.
Yeah.
It's really, we appreciate it. With that all being said, welcome to All the Marbles, everybody, where the stakes have never been higher. This week on the podcast, we have Dan Shank. Topeka comic, Topeka comedy mogul, magnate. Which do you prefer?
Whatever you want to call me.
Dan. And then we have Vicky Tremblay.
Yeah, Vicky.
That looks like my butt. That is not my butt.
I didn't want to say anything. But
Topeka comic, everything that Dan did, but don't let that seem to like have any idea of her being in Dan's shadow or anything, or resenting him at all, or there being any animosity to the friendship whatsoever. No one's going to get hurt tonight.
You don't know that.
And if it is, it's going to be Dan. Okay, and then we have Jack Merrywell.
yeah.
Lawrence comic?
Kansas City.
Kansas City comic, damn it. Okay, I get you and Jared Oshel mixed up for which one of you is in Kansas City and which one is Lawrence, and I don't know
I knew you were in Kansas.
why.
Thank you.
Just okay.
I will say you're not the worst at this table about that.
I get called a Lawrence comic a lot, and I'm like, what?
Out at Happy Pass at one time, Dan goes, "Hey, we got a Lawrence comic. You're from Lawrence, right?" I go, "No." He goes, "Yeah, he's from Lawrence."
I don't like to be wrong. I mean, I hate it. So,
You never contradict the host.
you are from where I tell you are, and you will like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've called the movers. You are from Lawrence.
I've been brought up at Bassett as a Missouri comic before.
That's
So that was a
true.
good
But
sign.
you are only
That was
like
fun.
5 miles.
Yeah, it's like
It's the same state, you know.
Yeah.
Missouri's
It would have
more
been a
cool.
good den for Jayhawkers. Would have been tactically located. You know, that'd be good. Okay. Boy, did they hold on to it. No. Okay. Dan, you wanna kick the show off and draw a card and decide who you want to read it to, and then that person
I
has
do
to
have one question.
answer one. Yeah, let's go.
Do we get to pick the card and read it and then decide who to ask, or do we have to figure out who we're asking before we look
You
at
can
the
do either.
picture?
You can do either, as long as you read the card and ask the question of one comic.
Okay.
That's the only way to. Yeah.
And from either.
Yeah, any of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Anything
these
that
look pretty.
speaks to you.
Yeah.
Questions about the bests of things.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead and Jack. This sounds like a Jack question to me. So what is the best country to reside in other than the U.S.?
Probably the Netherlands
Nice.
would be my guess.
Which Netherland would you sequester yourself to? Were you to immigrate?
Which Netherland?
Yeah.
I guess I'd go to like Amsterdam
Nice.
to be specific, but you know, they're
Is there
usually
any real reason that you would go to
well. I mean,
Amsterdam? There's a lot of legal stuff there.
generally in terms of like the global liberty index, they're usually number one. So for personal freedom, and just as overall standard of living, they're usually in the top 3 in the world. So like it's probably a
all about
solid
you,
pick
isn't
for a
it?
place to go.
But it's not warm.
I mean that's true. That's true.
And when it gets dark in the dark time in the winter, it stays dark a lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you drink enough, you're gonna feel warm. Though,
You know what? You're
In
right.
Amsterdam,
Saudi Arabia
they
it
don't-
is.
they don't-
It is nice and warm there.
It's a lot warmer there. Plus, you get all the blankets and stuff you got to wear. It's
I hear there's
nice.
good golfing. I hear there's good golfing out there.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, right. Didn't they just
A lot of sand traps.
That's, yeah.
Very much
Okay.
true.
I think we solved that. Vicky, I think that you.
Oh, my question. I'm going to do this red pile because it's the biggest.
Those are romantic questions.
Ah. Oh. Oh, my God.
Welcome to the show.
Is it romantic?
Well, okay, this is a good question for all you boys. But I'll ask Jack this too.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, since you're right there. If you were invited to an all-nude party where all the participants are required to be naked the whole time, would you go?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, why not?
It just feels weird.
Where are you going to put your stuff?
Well,
That's a good question.
where are you going to carry things?
other question is, can I see the list of who's invited before I make the decision?
I actually sold when I worked for radio, I sold a remote, and they told me since I sold the remote, I had to go to the event and I had to be naked, and I got my money back, or I gave them their money back.
Gotcha.
It's like, no,
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
can't. I
Was it at the Garden of Eden?
Yes. Yeah,
That's
it was.
just
It's a nudist colony.
Oh, okay. It's a
A naturalist. It's not a nudist colony. It's a
I'm calling it.
naturist.
You call it what you want. I think
It's naked people. It's lots of naked
Okay,
people.
okay.
and not of the good.
We're not
looking.
nudists. We're just
It's not a nudist
naked.
colony. It's a nudist independent commune.
It's a housing development.
They filed for the
It's a co-op.
12C kind, yeah.
5013C.
Fi- there it is. 501.
But yeah, it just sounds like a nightmare.
It does.
It does.
It does. Where
It's
do you
a
sit?
hard place to get
Where
You
into.
know,
do you
I mean,
sit?
you sit and then ooh. Ooh.
Where do you sit? I mean, you could. It doesn't say that you can't like bring a towel with you that you're just holding onto and setting
okay.
down on anything you sit down on.
Well, I
Anything
went
like
to
this.
a gal who was a nudist, and she didn't tell me they were nudists until I'd already been sitting on her couch.
Well, that feels rude.
That was gross. I mean, yeah.
Wait
that
until
was-
you were sitting on her couch, but you got in the door,
I was in the door. I was trying to sell
and
her
you still
house.
didn't know she was a nudist.
Well, she put pants on
Okay,
for me.
nice.
And that's what that was the deal. They were work from home, and they had to have a 20-minute notice.
So you
that
were
they
like,
could
oh,
put
she's just
pants
working
on.
from home. She's working from home. She's just casual, you know.
It was
Doesn't
casual
catch on
Friday.
as quick as they- yeah.
It was really casual Friday.
Didn't you do a nude art deal one time where you were the display
I was
piece
Miss
that people had
November.
to draw you
Yes,
naked?
Miss November.
I was Miss November in a calendar one time.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was a misprint.
But everybody else had to have their clothes on.
Misprint.
That was in my writer.
That was-
It wasn't
it was
a new
in my- yeah.
calendar. It's just my personal writer.
That was it.
Yeah.
I'll do it, but
Right.
It's like the Snapchat memories where it's like, this day last year. No.
You were sitting naked in a room full of people.
Oh, Jack, I think it's your card.
okay. Which one was the crystal ball one?
Crystal ball cards are these cards. Questions about the future.
That's crazy.
Taylor,
That's a good one.
what illegal action will be legalized in the next 10 years, and what effect will it have on your life?
In the next 10 years, what illegal action will be legalized? For us or the president? No, I don't want to. Okay. I don't. In the next 10 years, Kansas might go for cannabis. No, in the next 10 years, that seems like a generous timeline to give them. Give
see
them
that.
8 years
talking
after
about
after Missouri.
Yeah.
we lag
just an
behind.
individual state, or are you talking about worldwide?
Does it just say the United,
Just
does it
says
say the
what
United
illegal
States,
action.
What illegal action?
So this could be a
it's not
city
saying-
ordinance.
Okay, maybe Uganda might have some reforms. We might get homosexuality re-legalized in Uganda, right? Aren't they super criminalizing that last year or something? I think I heard
haven't
comics
been there for a while.
Yeah.
trying to talk about that. Yeah, maybe we'll get that.
The follow-up question
It
is,
still wouldn't impact my life though.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's the yeah.
Isn't that why
It's,
you
it's hard to
moved
reach
from-
for
well,
something.
it
that-
would mean
just to say-
your vacation options open up real.
Also true. Yeah. I can stop going to Saudi Arabia every year. You know.
Like
Yeah.
golf. Yeah, golf tournament. Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't be punching comics. That will remain illegal.
Be good.
That's true. It's a good question, though.
It's okay. I don't.
I actually like the legalization of cannabis in Kansas as
Yeah.
one of the better.
Hopefully, next 10 years, man. Good old Representative Tuck Duncan fighting the good fight. No, okay. Jack,
Oh Jesus!
in what ways do you tend to fail at communication?
I can. Never mind. That's the next question. I was going to say.
Dan's is
please go
speaking
on.
for people.
I let other people answer for me a lot.
No, I tend to have some conflict avoidance in me, where I'll avoid a confrontation rather than
Yeah.
just have it out, and that's not great.
Yeah.
Also, not a funny
A
answer.
lot of tension, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You were pretty adamant about correcting me when I said you were not. So,
I mean, you did walk up and punch him.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
But you didn't talk.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the actual air high five that you didn't even respond to when you went by was a good
was it?
indication.
Wait, are you being Is that actually a thing I did?
It doesn't matter at this point. I'm over it. It took me a week, but I'm over it.
Now I'm actually interested. Are you kidding, or did I
Jack
just
was in a
completely miss
blackout and
high-five?
has no memory of
It's
the night,
possible.
so he needs to know.
No, I think we were okay. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you came back around and did it the second time.
Dude, you have like the opposite of my voice thing, where like I always sound sarcastic even when I'm trying to be serious, but like you sound so earnest even when you're doing sarcastic bits, and I'm so envious of that. It's like I'd so much rather gaslight people that way than the other. You know?
To the extent I'm still not sure if I missed a high five or not.
And you never will.
If I did, I apologize.
No,
I
you're good.
totally
Yeah,
missed it.
Apology accepted.
Well, I'm glad that we got it out. Damn, I think it's your card.
Yeah, this one looks cool.
Firsts.
So, Vicky,
Yes.
The-
I'm old, so if it was from a long time ago, I'm not going to remember.
the first
Like last
time
week.
you were exposed to politics.
First time you can remember.
Well, when I was 7 or 8, I remember my mom and friends talking about whoever was being elected at that time, and it would be really bad because he was a communist and we would all be communists.
Classic.
And then, but I can't remember who it was.
That's what your
Herbert
parents
Hoover.
thought?
That was
Ronald Reagan.
No, it was before
Herbert
then. I would have been 8 or 9, so it would have been in the late 60s. Yes, that's probably. It would have been like who was running in the late 60s.
Nixon? Surely not Nixon.
It was before
Kennedy?
Nixon.
That would be
Who
well.
was before? It was Eisenhower was before Nixon, right?
Yeah, well, Eisenhower and then Kennedy.
And then who was against Eisenhower?
I don't know who lost to Eisenhower.
Yeah, Kennedy is early 60s.
Eisenhower would have been the 50s
Nixon wins in 1968.
because Kennedy was 1960.
Who was against Kennedy? I mean Nixon. I mean.
Oh, who was...
Sorry.
Who did Nixon run against? Who did?
But then it was probably 64 when
So it would have
what's his name
been
got shot.
LBJ.
No.
Because Lyndon Johnson
there a
was
Goldwater?
64.
Was there a Goldwater that was running?
I didn't go to
Barry,
school. I don't know.
Barry
Yeah,
Goldwater?
I'm with Taylor.
I don't know when
Didn't
that would
pay
have been.
attention in school, that was my
That
problem.
name rings a bell.
But the first time political stuff hit me would have been when JFK got shot.
George Wallace and
George Wallace.
Hubert Humphrey are the, the people that
George
lost
Wallace.
in.
He was the one that was
Okay.
supposedly not a very good guy, and I remember
Interesting.
my parents being like, "Really, you can't vote for Wallace."
And apparently that helped because he didn't win.
My
They
dad
did it.
said no.
They did it, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So voting does make a difference.
None
So
of
get
us
out
would
and
be
vote.
here.
And it had a happy ending. Nixon won the White House.
Speaking of happy endings,
You know, this
yeah.
presidential, he would have loved that. The R.I.P. Nixon, you would have loved the presidential powers thing in the Supreme Court. He would have been
Sure
on board
would've.
with that. He would have been like, God damn it, I've been saying it for years, guys.
If the president
knew
does it,
it.
it's not a crime. I've been telling you since 1970.
See, guys, I'm not a crook. I'm just a president. Okay?
I'm just foreseeing.
Vicky, I think it's your card.
Oh,
Here's your card.
what are
you're good.
these?
Those are bests questions, which are questions about the bests of things.
Okay, let's do that.
I just like to pick one without
Dan,
I'm not here.
I just picked that. This probably isn't a good one for you. What best way to tell if someone likes you or not?
Oh, let's go.
I think that's a
It's-
good one for everyone.
I go with if the tongue is in my ear or not.
Ooh,
Okay, when you say in,
yeah.
That's a weird question. Are you talking about in a relationship?
Well,
or
like when
just-
I was a little girl, people would say, "Oh, he pulled your hair and knocked you down. That's because he likes you," which got me into the whole relationship as I got older. That's why I.
tale as old as time.
Pulls your hair, knocks you down, ignores the stage high five,
Right. Yeah, those are all likable things. I mean, so I get it. I would
Votes
say
for
if
Nixon.
someone actually responds to me acknowledging them, I mean, because I get a lot of
When they
people that-
return high fives.
Right,
Yeah.
that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Or, but
Reciprocation.
if I talk to you or I acknowledge you as
Yeah.
a person, which number one I think deserves a response.
Lucky day.
Yes, but if you don't respond, I'm assuming you don't like me.
Or
It
just
doesn't
weren't a
mean I'm
person.
not going to try again.
And does it mean like or just like you as a
I mean that's a good question. I mean, like is a
Open
lot of
interpretation.
things
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually. I mean, I like a lot of Facebook posts that I really don't like. If that makes any sense.
I heart react to Facebook posts that I don't like,
Yeah.
So how do you tell if somebody likes you? I mean, can you tell?
If they laugh, react to my Facebook posts a lot, I think is
If they laugh at
that's my
me.
rubric. Okay, if they laugh, react to my Facebook posts, I prefer like deadpan stare in person. But like if I'm talking to them, I like the idea of I'm talking to the person. They're kind of like half listening, half ignoring me, but they're on their phone, laugh reacting to my Facebook posts. That's my idea of
Oh,
a
then
perfect
you know
first
they
date.
really
okay,
love you. That's the one.
So the
Okay.
perfect first date?
Yeah. Is I'm just talking to the person. They're tolerating me.
So
They're
you
on
guys
their
are sitting
phone. But while
across-
they're on their phone, they're going through my Facebook and laugh reacting to my posts.
Listen, you
He's a
are
judge.
straying dangerously close to criticizing his love language, and I don't appreciate it.
Dude.
I'm just curious because that's a really weird first date. And I was just,
Dude, you think that's a weird first date? Wait till you get to these first date question cards, okay?
I'm avoiding that stuff. I guess I don't have to answer them unless someone else draws.
True, if you're asking them, you're safe.
That's true.
That's true.
So how do you tell? I
Oh.
want to know from everybody.
Oh, geez.
If you want to escape this question, you can just draw a new card. Because it is your turn.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Nice one. Well played. Well played.
Vicky,
Yes.
stranded on a desert island, whom would you like for a companion?
Ooh. Does it have to
that's
be
supposed to be
alive?
who.
Could they be alive or
No.
dead?
It doesn't
I mean,
say.
I want
But
them
they
to
will be dead if you choose
Oh,
them.
if I choose the
No,
dead
I'm just
person.
kidding. Like, it can be anybody.
But you'll both be dead
I want
eventually.
Vincent Price's bones.
You should probably pick someone that can move logs around that you can light on fire for an SOS. Because if you're stranded on
I
it,
think it
I've seen
probably
Naked
would be
and Afraid.
Vincent Price. I really liked him. I liked him. He was a cool dude. He was an artist. He knew a lot of stuff. Who? What? Vincent, I'm the oldest.
He does like the spoken word bit in Thriller. Like the.
That's
Yes, that was him.
Vicky, I'm just going to say, that's the greatest accomplishment of his career.
Yeah, I know.
Just to hurt your soul a little
Just
more
so
than
you
him
know
saying
that
that.
the only thing he was ever any good at was that one thing. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Wait, Thrill, you mean that Michael Jackson jaunt?
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, I thought
Or
it was
Dave
Billie
Chappelle.
Eilish.
Dave
What?
Chappelle would be
Billie
good.
Eilish
He'd
is
be
awesome.
funny.
Oh yeah, Dave Chappelle would be good. I don't know. Yeah, on a desert island, just the two of us. Like, I don't think that he'd
you
enjoy
say
my
Dave
company.
Chappelle?
Island
or
bad,
deserted island?
in my opinion.
Why is that?
Desert
Because
island. Okay, fair enough.
they would
Could be
just
a
assume he
populated-
just went to Africa again, and they wouldn't look
Nobody
for
ever come
him.
look for you.
Oh, he just got pissed at Comedy
I'm
Central again.
glad.
Yeah, he'll be back.
True, but when he does come back, they'll be like, "Oh, you're that comic that Dave took with him to Africa."
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. That's cool. Come
That
back
is
with
kinda
clout if you come back.
If you come back.
If
That's
you
a hell of
come
an if, Taylor.
back. If you come back.
Well, it depends on if you went to Dubai or Uganda. You know, it's
Do you
let's
ever
do
get
another-
rescued? That's, I mean,
Yeah, would be
Who's the
important to
captain
know.
now? No. Okay, well, staying on theme, Dan, if you were on the show Naked and Afraid,
I would be afraid, yes.
parentheses Discovery Channel, and parentheses
Hashtag sponsored.
get
Give a
yours
shout out to
today.
this, yeah.
Also on Max. No, what would your survival item be?
Ooh. See, and I don't watch the show, but how many items do you get to survive with?
Sounds like one.
No,
Jesus.
you get like 7.
So this is a 3-part question. What would your survival item be? Question mark. Where would you not want to be dropped?
I'm just kidding. I
On
know,
my
so
head.
okay.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, where would you not want to be dropped?
In the crocodile pond.
And how long could you last?
First one was what would be mine
Survival item, yeah.
Item.
You get the one survival item.
A
As we all know.
loincloth.
The loincloth.
No, I'm just kidding. Probably
could
one
make one of
match. I
those.
think one match. I'd be all right with one match.
Are we talking Tinder?
It could be swipe
Dave
left or
Chappelle.
right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do a lighter? Why would you take a match? A lighter? There was a
Why
lighter.
would you?
Well, because I mean, what?
Because it's your answer. I'm sorry. I shouldn't tell you what to do.
No, I was thinking it would be more
It's
interesting
just
for
less
people to
flattering
watch
if you're
I
me.
don't want
Just
to
like-
undo the afraid part.
I
I'll
get
ruin
it.
the show.
And people would be more interested in me why trying to light a fire with a match versus a lighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get ratings up here, Vicky. I mean,
It's a shorter scene.
He's a
but it
company
punches
man.
I
harder.
am trying to
Would
boost
more
a
ratings.
tension.
subscription
Got one
to
track.
HelloFresh count as your one survival item?
Thanks for bringing up the sponsor of today's show. We're brought to you now.
Should we have a cell phone on the
I'm
Naked
glad
and
you got my
Afraid
text.
So what was the second part of the question?
Where do you not want to be dropped? Where in the world would you not wish to be?
Oh, for the show?
Carmen San Diego for a day.
Is
21
it
days.
in the United States? Is that where they
No,
film
they
it?
drop you out in the faraway places.
Yeah. Anyway, could be
Snake
Siberia.
Island, to be honest with you.
You don't want to be Snake Island. You wouldn't
Snake
want somewhere
Island.
with a lot of snakes. Yeah.
No,
Fair
I
enough.
mean there literally is a place called Snake Island,
Oh, really?
and it's illegal for people to go there.
Interesting.
Yeah, unless you're in service, and they literally are only
The
allowed
snakes
to
are
be there.
endangered. Right.
No, they're only allowed to be there for so many hours at a time because that's how many snakes are on the island. You should Google it. It's crazy.
Snake Island. Get yours
Snake
today.
Island. That's where I don't want to go. So
Sounds like it.
How long you think you're gonna last?
on Snake Island.
Naked and Afraid.
Oh,
You're not on Snake Island. Let's say you're
gonna
in
win.
Fiji.
I'm
in
gonna
woods.
last the entire. I don't
Nice.
know how that works. Do they
13,
vote
21
people
days.
off?
21 days, I think.
No, they just wait until you call and tell them that you're peeing blood and vomiting, and then they'll take you.
One of those two things. It's like a 21-day challenge, and then if you get hurt
Yeah.
or if you tap out, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
Medivac.
Last one to Medivac wins.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'm used to pain. 20 days.
Nice. 20 days. But you're gonna give in on the
I'm gonna
last
give
day.
up on the last day. I don't
Just
need
'cause you
that
don't wanna
money.
make
Because
the
I'm the
other
only one left
contestants
at
look
that
bad.
point,
Yeah,
so I don't
yeah, yeah,
have
you're like-
to,
yeah.
last that last.
He's like, I don't have anything to prove.
I'm the only one left.
I'm the survivor.
I don't have to be the best ever. I just gotta be the best here.
No.
3-part questions suck, by the way.
Don't they? Maggie, get your act together. Okay.
Damn it, Maggie.
It's your turn.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it is your
draw
card.
from the green stack.
Nice.
What was that?
Intellectual questions.
Oh God.
Oh,
I'll go to the bathroom now.
oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Can you read it?
I can read it. This almost sounds like it should be a Jack question as well.
Ooh, let's go.
Jack, so can someone both be a kind person and also hold the exact opposite of your political views?
Of course.
Stupid answer.
They won't be racist, okay? Listen, I don't know.
Which brings me to part
Well, I
two
guess,
of the
I guess,
question.
I guess it
political
depends on what you mean by
views?
the I guess.
The complete opposite of your political views.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just mean across a right-left spectrum, then yes. But I guess like
Your political views, and
You
they
know.
they take the contrarian approach to all of those, but they mean it.
Right. They will not let you live it down. Your views are wrong. Theirs
Yeah.
are right.
well, in that sense, yeah, it's
You're
fine.
rubber.
But if you're talking about like you know, like a legitimate Nazi, probably no.
Gotcha.
Well,
But are legitimate Nazis kind?
No.
I mean,
kind
Yeah.
of.
I guess they're kind to their kind, but
They're
I mean,
kinder.
they're kinder, yeah.
Is
not
that
Tinder, but Kinder.
Yeah, no, Kinder. Kinder's the
Swipe
Nazi
right.
dating app for pedophiles. Yeah. Kinder.
Which
you
is
swipe
the
on the
sponsor of our next
German
question.
children.
What's
Sponsor of
blue?
our next question. Blue is controversial questions.
Oh, we haven't had any of those, except for that one right there. I'm not going to look, but I will ask this to Taylor.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, good idea.
And this would have been good for everyone.
Ah.
Which stereotype is actually pretty accurate?
Comedians are narcissists.
Well,
Yeah, we'll go with that one. I just had to fire one off that wasn't ethnic. No, I don't.
it's not ethnic. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. It's the first place that they bring it. Almost all of the times that this card comes up, everyone's like, "Oh, why would you ask this question?" I have to think of a racial stereotype that's actually accurate. I'm like, "That's not on the card."
Yeah. So, interesting that you go right to race.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
How about
it's
short
a blue
people
card.
are no good?
Short people are no good.
Yeah.
That's a
Didn't they have a
stereotype.
song back in the 80s about short people?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a Vincent Price song, right?
That is Vincent Price sang that. Yeah, he was very funny.
Vincent Price and the Heartbreakers, I think.
No, that was Tom Petty, actually.
No, you're thinking of Tom Petty in the news.
Right. Oh, I got you. No, that was Huey Lewis.
It was Tom Petty and the Heart passive-aggressive glances. No, I don't.
I'm so confused now. I'm going to have to go back to my
Conflict
CD
of
collection
loiters.
and see if I
No.
can
I
figure
really
it out.
feel like a lot of times stereotypes are rooted in thing. I mean, they're kind of rooted in not.
They're rooted in oral traditions from past
Maybe,
experiences
could've
of
been,
people that
yeah.
are either validated or invalidated as.
Yeah. Like
More
when I found out I
experiences
wasn't
you had,
Italian, I completely lost my ability to make spaghetti.
Nice.
So,
But at least you know what you
just
want.
would get up in your head every when you found out you were Italian.
When I found out I was not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Fair
I'm
enough.
Iberian. I don't know what Iberians eat.
You get imposter syndrome now whenever you
Yeah,
get in front of a
yeah.
pasta bowl. Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. That's valid.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's awful. Yeah.
I
I was
feel
right
like,
in the middle
you
of a pan of lasagna and had to quit.
Dude, when I found out I wasn't funny, my jokes got a lot worse.
And that-
I was-
And we do appreciate you trying to be funny. That's awesome.
He's like, any day if you could just start, buddy. Did 23andMe. Turns out I'm 0.5% funny.
Yeah, I come from a long line of unfunny shit.
But I'm gonna
Bombers.
keep trying.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Jack, I think it's you.
All right, I'll do one of these
Ooh,
too.
do a blue one. That's
Nice.
good.
No one's saying
Intellectual.
yellow either.
Dan.
Nope.
I did not.
He was all for the controversial
Right.
questions till he heard his name.
Do women have any systemic privilege due to their gender?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everything? Is that a good
Everything.
answer? Yeah, I mean,
No, that was my fault.
that's a tough one because if you're talking about just in general, like living, even, that's
Sure.
cool. But
Yeah.
I can make a human.
you can make a human. That's what I'm saying. You have
That's
a
a
privilege.
privilege,
It is a
right?
privilege,
You
but you
guys
can't
can't
make
do
a
that.
human.
It's a
without
biological
me.
privilege,
I guess,
maybe.
I guess you could make one.
I don't think it's a
Oh.
systemic one.
Oh, systemic would mean like outside.
Yeah, that we all
systems.
took a vote and said,
Civilization.
okay, the women are gonna have all the babies, and then we're gonna
We're gonna
do all the
we're
yeah.
gonna not pay for them.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's rude.
I mean, life is
That's a rude
changing so
stereotype.
rapidly that I don't even know that is a question
What do
that
you
can
mean
be
when you say
answered
that?
anymore. I mean, because I might say there's a woman that has a systemic, not an obligation, but a privilege, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I identify as he. So, I mean, that changes everything. I mean, right?
That is it.
The
Yeah.
noun can change.
I think pretty women maybe have systemic privileges.
Define pretty.
Well,
An
and
8.
Well, no, you bring
Eight's
that's,
enough.
that's interesting to bring up because you're right that it is in the eye of the beholder, but women that are perceived as good looking can do things in society that men or particularly homely women might not ever get away
Yeah, but
with.
what makes them pretty? Is it because of the magazine or the network or whatever puts them out there on their ad and says this is what the
Well, I think that depends on how the
public has
guy
to
was
look.
raised.
I think it depends on how many of my Facebook posts they laugh react
There you go.
to.
If they're really cute.
Are you
That's
friends
the-
with them? I mean, are you friends with that pretty woman on the ad of some cologne, perfume?
You get the. Are you talking
don't
about
know
like
who's
when you
running
get a
the
friend
account I
request from the
accepted.
account and you got like two? You see the two mutuals on the friend request and you're like, but those are my gullible friends. I don't know.
There you go.
This person doesn't have a lot of pictures posted, and the three pictures they do have posted don't look like the same person.
Or they use different
we all-
filters.
that could be true. That's yeah. Yeah, but the filters are trying to make consistency. No, now we're trying to
I have a
weird
question
thing.
that's not on here. Maybe
Let's
you guys
go.
don't know this answer. When did women start wearing fake eyelashes to the pool?
To the pool.
Is that a thing?
To the pool,
To
you
the
say?
swimming pool.
what
yes.
pool are
you
I was
going
there
to?
Gage Pool. I was there Sunday, and probably 3/4 of the girls I saw there had fake eyelashes on.
Did they
Like the
also
big.
have fake?
Oh, no. You're misunderstanding. You're thinking they're fake eyelashes. They're actually sort of a windshield wiper system for the inside of a goggle.
Oh, is that it?
It's the new technological thing that's come out in the sport.
Were they wearing goggles at the time, or
No.
were they
I
at least
couldn't
on their
tell because
forehead?
they had these big fur things on their face. I couldn't see
Well,
their eyes.
it's not the new technology is not actually attached to the goggle. So if your goggles are off, you're still wearing it.
Yeah, they
So that's
attach to
why
the
she made the
eye.
mistake
Connects
that
to
it
your
was
Neuralink.
You know,
It works on your sunglasses too. You put them down, it
What
keeps it.
else
Yeah.
was consistently being fake at the pool that women
I
were
didn't touch
wearing?
anything else. I didn't touch them. I just looked at their eyelashes. Well, no, but they were big enough you could look. It wasn't like boobs where they're hidden away under a bikini top. These were just hanging right out there in front of your face.
You weren't at the garden.
You hear that, women? Get your
Cover up your
eyelashes under your
eyelashes.
bikini tops, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
Oh.
Taylor?
Okay.
I think that wraps this.
this
oh, yeah,
podcast
it
is
is my
officially
part.
brought to you by the Burkini.
Bikini. Yes. Vicky, what was the most difficult thing you've ever had to do?
Oh,
That's a great question.
man, that could be sad. I've had to do some difficult things.
White cards or sad cards?
Yeah. Going home from the hospital and not being able to take my second daughter home
Ooh,
with me. That was
interesting.
hard. Probably
Yeah.
the hardest. That was
would be.
such a weird, and I didn't know it was hard because I don't think of hard things. I let things slide over me, and I make jokes of everything. So it's
Yeah.
never. I don't ever really have emotion. But when she was like,
Episode title.
yeah, when she was a little older, and I wanted to take her back up to the hospital to see the nurses who had taken such good care of her while she was in ICU. When those doors opened on that floor, I just like, and I just started crying, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was probably one of the hardest things I had.
So how old was she when you took her back?
She was probably 5 or 6 months old. I didn't get to take her home. She was 2 weeks before I could take her home. And then I took her out and let her get hit by a train. So that was,
that was amazing.
I toughened her up.
Nice.
This is like
makes
2
you
weeks and 3 days.
2 weeks, 3 days later.
You're like,
Take care of
here,
her.
just stay on the train tracks for just a minute. We'll be fine. You know.
I forgot to put my train sound effect on my.
Oh no.
Oh,
Would have been good.
that would have been good.
I think Dan, is it your card?
I guess I'm gonna do a yellow one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Personal questions.
Oh.
This is actually a really interesting question
Why?
because it has some really interesting words
Nice.
on there. And it's also number 71, which is a really weird number. But I'm gonna go with Taylor because you seem like this would be appropriate.
Uh-oh.
So, what are your coping mechanisms for stress? Have you had this question before?
I think so. A few weeks ago. Several weeks ago. Coping
You don't have
mechanisms
to
for
answer it
stress. I think.
If you want to see the answer to Taylor's question, go back and watch one of his podcast episodes.
Don't do
Watch
that.
episode
If you're here, this is enough. Don't.
Don't go backwards.
Don't go back.
It's the same. It's the same boulder. It's the same mountain. It's just different Sisyphuses. That's all.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphuses.
I don't
Say
think
that
anyone's
3
ever
times
called me
really
a
fast.
Sisyphus before. I gotta ponder whether I
Sisyphi?
like that.
Sisyphi. Sisyphophides is the Greek, I think.
Do you even
Hell
get
yeah.
stressed, Taylor? I mean, you seem like a pretty mellow and relaxed kind of guy that wouldn't get stressed out very
Yeah,
often.
that's true. That's very true. I think that my coping mechanisms for stress are adopting a veneer of calm collection. And so if you see me looking calm and collected, just
Don't talk to him because he's gonna explode.
yeah, don't touch me, don't talk to me,
So is
don't
it
look at me,
multiple things
don't
that
think
you do?
about me.
You have to do a lot of things
No,
to get
I
to
usually
that point?
like if I'm holding a pen, I'll start taking the pen apart and putting the pen back together, or or I'll drink. No,
Drink?
if I'm somewhere where there is a drink, because then it's just another thing. It's more you've got ice, you got a straw, you have a thing to fixate
So
on.
distractions.
And you have a thing to look at and be messing with, so that people don't want to talk to you. You know, That's good.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, it's me. Which one have we not looked at? Is there any that
I
we
don't think
haven't
the
asked?
white ones that
We haven't had
chosen?
we haven't had potpourri cards asked.
Oh,
we
let's do
haven't. We did a okay.
Okay, everyone fart
Good stuff.
together. Ready? Jack,
Yes.
assign a most likely to superlative to all the players, including yourself. Oh,
Nice.
A most likely to.
yeah, like in
Like in a high school yearbook?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I wasn't invited to my high school yearbook. They just said no.
Wait, what do you mean by invited to your high school yearbook?
That's what I want to know.
That means you're going to be the protagonist of the video game where Dan has to go into the high school yearbook and free all of his classmates that have been trapped inside a high school yearbook, right? You're going through like
That would be a
it's like a
good.
Paper Mario thing.
Here's the thing about the high school
would be a
yearbooks.
good
I was
episode of
asked to write the
Goosebumps.
last 2 lines of the high school yearbook. I mean, because I was a poet. I still am a poet, and I would
Nice.
write poetry all the time.
Nice.
And so I wrote
Explains the
these.
shirt.
Right. So I wrote these last 2 lines of, and I think it should be in every yearbook out there right now. It says, "As you go to close this book, let's not close it too fast. As you live on through the future, don't forget your past."
Nice.
Those 2 lines should be at the end of every yearbook. You know, should live on through the.
It should be like those cards that you open that like play a song, except when it opens, it's Vincent
sing-
Price saying that line.
Makes sense.
That would be
good.
very sexy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh,
get
no, you're
food,
good.
Jack.
I was just giving me. Oh, good Lord.
Ani's bringing food in.
Thank you.
Fish
that.
sticks.
It's fish sticks in honor of Shark Week.
There it is.
Yeah,
you got Shark Week fish sticks.
All right, so let's. Okay. All right, so superlatives.
Yes.
Taylor is the most likely to make a reference to Greek mythology in front of a crowd that is absolutely not going to be into that.
It was 3 times over the course of 1 week, Jack. Okay, listen.
So I don't know why you would think that was going to be a thing.
Dan,
Yes.
most likely to be passive aggressive about a high five.
Well, good comeback.
Thank you. Vicky, I think most likely to be Miss November.
Ah,
In a current calendar or a previous calendar?
Gregorian calendar.
It was several pounds ago.
The Mayan 2012 calendar.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I would say I'm the most likely to dodge this question by making this my response.
Nice.
Oh.
Or dodging
That
a high
was
five when you had a
sly.
chance. That might also be.
Guys, you want chips with your
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Oh,
Oh
get
my
it?
God.
Good call. Yeah. Long John Silver's for sure. Who happens to be the sponsor of this next segment.
Dude, Long John Silver's, send us your food. I've never had it. I'll try it on the podcast and ostensibly give you an advertisement if it's good.
You know what they would sponsor you with? A hush puppy.
Someone's got to shut them up.
Right, that's it. Yeah, well,
No. Yeah.
those are the chips part of it.
Gotcha.
The little crumbs.
I guess chips are bad on a podcast, aren't they?
Only if you
Never
chew into the
mind.
microphone. People have eaten crunchy things on the
Okay.
podcast before. It's all good. Whose card is it?
So that was you, wasn't
No.
it you that? No, who gave
I
that to
was a
Jack?
superlative. I just asked the
Oh
question.
yeah.
Then I
She
guess
gave it
it's
to him.
me.
So it
What's
is your
this?
card. Those are the first date questions. The questions that the date questions. Questions you ask on a first
This is
date.
the crystal ball?
Crystal ball. Questions about the
Do a
future.
crystal ball.
I like Future. We've had 1 or 2 of those. I like the
tarot
umbrellas.
cards.
Those are nice and the dip.
Vicky,
Yes.
which of your exes will be most successful and why?
I only have one ex, and he was never going to be successful. Do I have
Why?
any ex-boyfriends? They're all in jail. I only have one ex. If he was going to be successful, it would just be because I can't even imagine why anybody would make him successful.
Are there different?
Because he snorted a lot of cocaine and could probably do a lot of stuff. Right?
you go 100 miles a minute
He
and
could go
get
really
things done.
fast
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah.
Are there different levels of success for your exes in prison, though? I mean,
They just got successfully shanked. So yeah, they weren't very successful.
crazy.
I didn't have a very good. I mean,
Caesar, though.
I wasn't
Good
good on
company.
the X thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I miss Twitter.
That's why they're X's. Oh. I didn't think about that X.
Which ex? That's going to be the most successful ex, guys.
Yeah.
It's doing great. Dan,
Oh,
what is your most shameful alcohol-related story?
Oh.
There are so many of those, to be honest with you.
From the vault.
I had to quit drinking Jägermeister years ago because I went to a house party and on my way home, and I shouldn't even be telling this, but I don't drink anymore. So
Nice.
those of you that I'm almost 5 years sober, thank you. So
No applause button for that, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
Shit. Yep.
no, because we're all alcoholics here. I get it. Some of us are still drinking. No, and
Looks like water.
I made it halfway home before I made a wrong turn, and then I blacked out and
Nice.
continued to drive for probably 20 miles before I realized where I was at and had to
Damn,
make a
dude.
U-turn and go back. I mean, luckily, nobody got injured, not myself or anybody else, and I did make it home. But I don't remember a 20-minute drive. That
Fair
was
enough.
probably the weirdest. And,
Yeah.
But so I don't drink, or I didn't drink Jaeger after that.
It is always very like you catch your breath when your eyes open when you black out, and then like you've moved geographically when you come back to. It's like that's okay. What, where, when?
Yeah.
That's always
What
fun.
happened?
Crazy.
while I wasn't looking.
I know there's no humor in that, but I'm just saying, But I can tell you, and that's, why I quit drinking is because of stupidity, things like that. And you just finally wake up one day and go, wow, why am I in jail? And then you realize that, I should probably stop drinking.
I was going to leave it at geographically relocated.
I'm just kidding.
But.
Just kidding, yeah. I always say, like, when a police officer tells you, knocking on your window, do you know where you're at? And your response should not be halfway through this bottle of Jägermeister, So, pretty cool.
You want some?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, I think it's your card.
So it's my turn?
Yeah. No, it's just your card.
Just my card?
No.
See, and it's funny that we didn't shuffle these. Are they in a specific
They've
order?
been shuffled. They're not in any specific order. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Would you like anything to drink, Jack?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Well, this is a great question, and I'm not going to be able to... I guess I could ask Vicky this one. I'm not sure I want to know your answer.
Let's go.
What's your opinion of education that teaches men to be more seductive?
There's education for
Let me
that.
read. Do you need me to read that question one
Are you
more
talking
time?
about like the game?
I don't know.
Robert
again.
Greene's Art of Seduction.
What's your opinion of the education that teaches men to be more seductive? Is that possible
This
for men to
question
be
is
more
such a
seductive?
mystery.
Big Fresh and Fit fan, Vicky.
I don't
Understand the question. Good idea.
I don't. What education are they referring to? Do men get an education in that? Because you need new teachers.
I
Not in
think
schools. It just means like educative materials, like self-help books or podcasts or
Playboy.
online.
I think
Yeah,
it's.
Playboy
I think
would
it's.
count.
I think this is a reference to the pickup artist industry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think they got a
decoy.
ways to learn. I don't know.
ways to learn.
Here's the thing.
they're not doing it yet?
Men's idea of what seduction is, I think, is very different than what a woman's idea of seduction is.
Okay.
I think men and women use sex for completely different reasons. I get in trouble for this because I think men use love, and I'm not saying you guys do this. I'm sure you don't, but typically men will use love with women in order to get sex, whereas a woman will use sex with a man in order to get love.
Oh.
A girl thinks, well, if I put out for this guy, he's going to really love me, and the guy's like, oh, if you really love me, you'd put out for me. So I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about the guys like Andrew Tate and those guys that are telling you guys to ignore us and when we're talking to cut us off and stuff, I think you got a ways to learn on that because I don't think that's it.
So saying "I love you" on the first date is what you're saying is wrong?
Oh yeah.
If it's not true.
And you can't even know that on the first date. And saying that on the first date should be a huge red flag for anyone. If a guy comes up to you right away and starts saying, "Oh my God, I love you, I want to be with you,"
And therein lies my problem.
Maybe you know it before the first date. No. All right.
Okay, if you've been watching it for months, from the corner with goggles,
From the
then,
tree.
yeah, I mean,
Binoculars.
yeah. I don't know.
Windshield wipers on them.
I don't think
So that's my dating website, Foliage Finders.
Foliage finders.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you get a lot of followers?
Oh, it's me.
Oh no, it's the opposite. You do the following.
Oh, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Fair enough.
And first, we haven't done hardly any first.
We haven't
yet.
done many firsts.
Dan, let's hear. I got two.
Oh.
Let me do. You can do this for the first.
Did you?
Oh.
Who's?
Well, you guys are too young for this anyway. The first time you mourned for your youth. I don't mourn for mine. I just keep him chained in the basement. But what do you do? Sorry.
The first? Are you talking about what makes me?
No, the first time when you were like, God, I'm not young anymore. I
Yeah.
wish I was young now.
Yeah.
I wish I was younger.
When I joined the gym again?
Yeah.
When was this? How old?
It was last week, and I went in and I didn't recognize any of the equipment
I thought you were gonna say people.
or the people. Yeah, it's like the same people should have
You're
been
like,
going to the gym. Yeah,
Everyone's
I don't know.
gone
I
since
mean,
last time.
no, I mean, basically along those lines. Just when I can't do the things that I used to be able to do, my mind says that I can do all of those things, but my body says no, you can't. You know, and so you wake up one day and it takes you 2 minutes to get out of bed instead of 30 seconds. You know, so then you piss yourself, and then you got to go to you know.
Then you got to stop drinking.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean,
That was probably mine too. Is when
you
go
pissed
out and
yourself
have-
getting
well,
out of bed. I mean, I don't know. It's
I don't even try to get out of bed.
How old to how old? I don't. When can we expect this to happen? How do you?
with you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. How much do you drink?
Where's the doomsday clock on this? Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah.
35 was hard for me. The 0 numbers I didn't care about those, but
Okay.
35 put me in bed for a week. That just devastated me.
Damn, dude.
And it was when I used to go out and could go drinking and then like not even go home and just go on to work the next day and be fine. Then it was like I probably need a nap first. And when it took 3 days to get over a 1-day party,
I think 39
I knew I was
for me.
old.
Dude, I had
39.
I had my first 3-day hangover like
3 days ago.
2.5 months ago.
And
or
how
something.
old are you?
I'm 26, so
Okay.
I'm creeping up on 27. But
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't
That's
supposed
early.
to happen.
At
Yeah,
26, that's alcohol poisoning. That's not a hangover.
3 days.
I thought I had a really bad hangover
Saying
at
the same
21
thing.
once, and no.
I am very lucky because I never had hangovers. I mean, ever.
Nice.
I just would never wake up. All these people would say, "Oh, I got such a headache from last." I never did have that for some weird reason.
See, I would say I've very rarely had hangovers too, but maybe I've just never had a hangover and I just get alcohol poisoning. Because I don't often remember getting a hangover, except for like sometimes I'll be like, but I guess I'm just dying. That makes more sense.
Right. If you wake up someplace that you don't recognize, that's probably not
Like
a
I've
good thing.
geolocated. Yeah,
Cool.
My turn?
I believe so. Yes.
Good
do it.
question. Good question, Vicky.
Potpourri.
How are those fish sticks?
They're
Try
good,
one.
try one.
No, I
over,
was just
grab one.
asking.
You don't want a fish
They
stick?
are very good.
Ani put work into them.
I can see that. This one has Peyronie's disease.
They're good.
She actually
yours
caught
today.
these fish her own self out of the little pond out in the back
Yeah.
and sliced them up like that. It took like 10 little bitty fish, but she did it.
Breaded them,
Yep.
Sticked them.
She sticked them. She sliced them down into this size.
fried them.
She manufactured the tiny drink umbrellas for the sauces.
Yeah.
Right?
She's got a whole bunch of little Chinese kids in the closet that makes them for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the tartar is going over as well as the.
I don't like the
ketchup
tartar.
will work, though.
The tartar's good on the sun chips.
I don't know. I haven't tried that, but that seems interesting.
All right. Taylor,
Okay.
what's something you never knew you'd enjoy until you tried it?
Anal. I'm sorry.
He was fully aware.
Sometimes things slip out. Not during
Anally?
anal, but
I was going to say, wow.
Still on the list of things I haven't tried because I'm not quite convinced of it. But
it's way overblown.
it's way overblown. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of getting way overblown, man.
Way
Listen, let me tell you.
Wow.
You think you prepped. You think you prepped thoroughly enough. And it's all
And it blows your mind.
overblown. Okay. I don't know. Talking in front of people. I don't know.
You are on a podcast, you know.
Yeah, dude.
But there's no people.
Yeah. It's just a camera and other hosts.
We're just friends.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about the million of people.
Yeah.
Millions of
The
people that are
humanity
watching this
exists
show
on the
now.
table between all of us.
Yeah.
None of us are. Yeah, we're all.
He's
existing as shadows
imagining
on a
everybody
cave.
who's watching this podcast is sitting
Dead.
there naked.
Yeah.
Oh, dead. Dead and naked. Just a bunch
They
of naked
died
people.
while watching the podcast.
But mostly afraid.
I was pretty sure that I hated sushi until I was like 23, and then I tried it and I
Yeah.
was like, this is pretty good.
Who you with when you tried it for the first time? On a date? On your phone?
No, I would have been home. I think I
Alone?
ordered it.
I mean, it's not
Hard
that
to say.
important. I was just
Hard to
curious.
say.
I mean,
yeah. I can't. I'll
But
have
it
to
is
do some
odd that
soul
you
searching
remembered
and
at
have
23.
have it written into a card for first time you ate sushi, and then we'll figure it out. Probably. Let's do a first card.
When's the first time you ate sushi? That's you're like, wait a minute.
Hey Jack, when was the first time you said, "quote I love you," unquote, when you shouldn't have? Shouldn't is underlined. So, when you really shouldn't have?
Last week.
That's a good streak.
I don't know that I have
Ooh.
regretted saying I love you.
Oh, I thought you meant I don't think I have said I love you. To anybody. That's what at first I was like, wow, that's impressive right there.
Well, you cannot regret doing something you shouldn't have done. That's
Well, that's true. That's not. I think my meaning of that sentence was clear from the words I said.
based.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
Oh,
I don't think
interesting. Vicky, when was the first time you said that I love you, but you shouldn't have?
When with my first husband. I should never have said that.
Interesting. How old would you have been?
25.
25. Don't be telling people you love them when you're 25.
You don't know.
Just to be safe, you know? Just take a year off.
So, follow-up question: have you ever said I love you and they haven't said I love you back, and then you felt awkward or uncomfortable about that?
No.
I'm getting the feeling that you don't say I love you very often.
No, that's not.
Well, I love you.
Oh, that's cool.
See, he knows he should. He knows he shouldn't say it.
That's the verbal equivalent of not
right?
high-fiving.
Right, exactly.
don't fall
Tell you what, here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do.
I was about to say,
All
Jack,
right, all right.
don't fall for it. He's just after
Redeemed,
sex.
redeemed. Yes. Gotcha.
Dan, I think it's your card.
It's my card. Man, these are so tough. I'm not even going to read the question yet. I'm going to just pick Taylor.
Okay.
Ooh. This should teenagers be given allowances? How much money is a reasonable amount?
Oh yeah, I'm going to start with the first. No,
a
I'm going to start
two-part
with the
question.
second. I'm going to start with the second part of the question. How much is money is a reasonable amount?
For a teenager, keep in mind it says teenagers. Not
Jack,
like
what's the going cost of living for a teenager these days?
I don't know.
You got any, Ani? You want to pitch in a ballpark cost of living for a teenager?
Wow.
$0 to be a teenager today, guys. That's interesting. So a reasonable amount of money that your parents just drop on you every week, so long as you fulfill certain tasks, hopefully.
Which I don't think a teenager should still be getting allowances. But
Probably enough for like, no. You want to be able to like pull your own weight if you're hanging out in a group of friends, right? You don't want to have to like, if your friends, if you and your friends are all going to a restaurant and stuff, you don't want to have to like, someone else cover me.
But once
$40
you're
a month?
16,
Jesus
once you're
Christ.
16, you should have a job and making your own money.
Because if you're a teenager, let's say we're saying within reason, so we're not getting ostentatious, but we are trying to build a world that we would want to live in, right? So like, I want to be able to hang out with my friends in a public setting at least once a week. Okay, listen. And so if we're doing something at least once a week, the world that we live in, you're usually spending money if you're going out in public and blah 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 blah. So you'd probably want to be able to spend somewhere between $30 and $40, blah blah blah, if you're having fun with your friends per week. So you do that. You do the math. I can't do math for that for like
$120 a month. I mean, are they just?
I'd say $30 a week, and then you do the math for that if you want to do it monthly versus weekly versus whatever. But also, should teenagers be given an allowance? Absolutely not. There's no moral imperative over. No, that's you're living in the best of all possible worlds if you're getting money dropped on your head every week.
And who are your
month
parents?
as a kid? I mean, if your parents make a ridiculous amount of money, it would make sense that they
What's
would
a
want to share
ridiculous
that with
amount of money?
I don't know. Once you break like
6 figures?
sure. I don't know if that's ridiculous.
I guess it depends on the area of town you live in.
Yeah,
True.
Area of country.
Well,
my parents made me get my first job at 6.
I was going to say, I was working when I was 12, so I never needed an allowance. I started babysitting early and selling hamburgers at the store.
Interesting. I don't know.
I was one of those pass out the free stuff people.
Yeah. Nice.
Free stuff.
But see, this was back in the old days, and we didn't have a problem with child labor back then. I mean, I could have roofed houses, and they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Some places don't have a problem with it today, actually. So
We need that cobalt, guys, is what we're saying. We need that cobalt for our Tesla trucks.
Please dig it out. Whose turn is it?
I asked Taylor that question. I
It's
believe.
Vicky's
So
turn.
I'm going to do the flower one.
Nice.
Who hasn't had a question? Oh my God. Jack.
Oh boy.
And I don't know why I ask you this, because I don't.
Because
We're
the card
learning
told
things
you
about
to.
Jack today,
Yeah.
guys.
What are your feelings about pornography?
Ooh. Nice specific question.
I don't know that I have strong feelings about pornography.
Jack, show her your phone. I mean, just
You on the Kansas
you don't wanna
side,
do
you on the
that.
Missouri side? Are the porn sites on strike where you're at, Jack?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Is
You
that
haven't
a
checked?
thing?
Yeah.
is that it? Really? Is it?
Yeah, because Kansas is requiring Gov ID
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
so
that's
you
right,
can
that's
prove
right,
that
that's
you're old
right.
enough to access the porn sites, and all
right.
the porn sites are saying, nah, we don't like this. We don't
don't
want
like
to have a
Kansas
database
anymore.
of everybody's IDs,
Yeah.
so we're just not going to do it. And like, well, then you can't show your porn. And they're like, okay, fuck you. Well, the people will revolt, and so they're saying, no, go pester your senators, so
They
that
have
we
not
can
done that
keep
to
showing
my
you naked
turtle
people.
sites yet.
Yeah, not all of
turtle.
it. Wait, what?
If there's animals involved, they don't care.
I like
you
turtles.
Gotcha.
I like to watch turtles do it.
Nice.
So weird.
That's the only
They make
animal.
such strange sounds when they.
Oh
when
my
they
god, and they
orgasm.
got such
They
cute
just-
little faces.
It's weird. It's odd. You see a turtle penis, Jack?
Oh my god, have you
have
seen a
not.
turtle?
It comes out the back of the shell and it curves back around and it looks like this weird tentacle. Like it looks
And
like a
it's
squid
like
head.
this, and they just they come forever. Have you seen that? It's,
It's the shell shock.
I
puddles.
haven't seen them. I haven't seen them coming, but I've seen them going
There's a
at
lot.
it.
Taylor's usually finished with what he's got to do before he gets to the end. I mean,
Most of
so,
the, yeah.
And
I
bull
switch over to
turtles.
giraffes for
Yeah,
the money shots.
exactly,
Okay.
yeah. I was
Um,
gonna say,
They
Go
do
big or
that
go
long
home, that's what they
tongue
always
thing.
say.
Not a lot of retention in this guy's viewing
right,
history.
yeah. Weird.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
What are your thoughts on porn, Dan?
I'm all for it.
Okay.
True story. I used to be the regional manager for a bunch of porn stores.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think I've heard about that. Yeah.
So I'm all okay with it, I guess.
Nice.
Everybody's got to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Did you have any turtles?
You know,
Was there turtles involved?
we were
they
actually true story
ninjas?
about like animals, and if any DVD ever came in with a picture of an animal on the cover, our company immediately made us pull them off the shelves. So
Wow,
yeah, so we weren't into that like you.
interesting.
You
turtles.
might have been one of the people that I sold it to out of the back door of the business,
The
but
turtle
I mean,
ones?
I was just
Just the turtle ones. I only took the turtle ones.
fair enough.
Tortoises.
You are really clinging to that like it is a defense.
No, I
Only the
guarantee
turtles.
Just
you
the
that
turtles.
almost every
It's
question
not
in
weird,
here
it's
could come
just
back
the
to a
turtles.
turtle porn thing with her.
Huh?
I mean, on the drive down here, she brought up turtle porn 4 times, and I don't understand it. And I just said, "Where can we get a drink?" And she was like, "Well, I know some turtle porn places."
pretty
that
There
were-
was a turtle
It's pretty
fucking in
funny.
this driveway.
Dude, the third episode of the podcast ever, I was in the first like 15 minutes, I'm passing around my laptop and forcing 3 other comics to look at a picture of a turtle's penis just so that they know what
They're
it looks
amazing
like.
looking, yeah.
They're weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
And you know why
It's
the
the things that you
female
need to
turtle
be
has that
scarred by.
expression on her face, just the whole time, like we got to
It's
paint the
surprise.
fence.
She was
yeah.
like, I didn't know you had one.
What?
This whole time we've been
What is
talking, it looks
this?
like you're in just a weird onesie, you just a mech. Like I thought you were gonna come. I was waiting for you to come out of your shell, and then nope, you don't. The shell stays on, but just
Yeah.
crazy.
It's like the reptile version
They're
of
not-
getting fucked by a Gundam.
They're not like a crab, Taylor. They don't leave their shell and then go make home in another
Oh my
shell.
God,
Yeah.
no, that would be gross.
The only hermit turtles do that.
Right. Is that a thing?
Yeah, they're hard to find. It's,
Oh my God! Now I've just got this picture of a naked turtle with no. Those are. It would be like some 90-year-old
It's
man.
difficult for
with a-
turtles to shed their shells because that is actually a modified rib cage.
Right.
So like it's difficult to
Yeah, take your rib
just
cage.
shrug that off.
So Vicky, did you ever get into like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle porn? Was that ever?
No.
You know? Okay, good.
No, I like real turtles. I like the real thing.
She likes Renaissance artists or turtles,
Yeah.
not together.
Not together.
And the fact that it says teenager in the title is probably a.
I
Give me
mean,
19. No, I'm not gonna die on that hill.
They're old enough to go to war, Taylor.
Drink a smoke drink and,
Vindicated. Okay.
and die for their country.
They can fight Batman. They can.
Right?
have they fought Batman?
They fought with Batman.
Oh,
It was-
okay.
Yeah, that happened. That happened, guys.
But so did Robin. So
Yeah.
it's not really that. Yeah, it's a low bar.
When you said that, I visualized a dead Batman and a teenage mutant who like beating somebody with a dead Batman.
That would have been so much cooler, dude.
Yes.
it's just they took the bat part literally. Oh, Batman. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Man, why wasn't that a joke in Kick-Ass? That would have been great. That would have been so good.
So much better. Yeah.
Whose card is it?
I think it's me. What are
Alright.
the green ones?
Green ones are intellectual questions.
All right, we'll do that.
We need to get back off of porn with something smart.
That's what the Facebook ads tell me.
Yeah. Get off the
Taylor,
porn.
which technology should not have been invented?
Porn. No. I don't. Cameras. Oh, I don't know the cameras. I
Had
gotta
enough
be on
cameras?
everything. Why we gotta put them on our phones? why you gotta talk to your camera now? You're just
Your mind is a
conditioning
camera.
people to talk to a camera. Your mind is a. Hey,
Ish. For yourself, it's a personal camera. Every
Yeah,
time that you
I feel
look
like-
at something, you can bring that back whenever you want to look at it again.
I
Yeah,
feel like
why
your
would you wanna
response
do
to
that?
this question was to turn into an 80s hack comic that was transported into 2015. Like, why do you gotta talk to your camera?
hey,
What's the deal with that? I don't understand.
and then it's funny because he's on MTV and he's but
What's the deal with talking to cameras?
Who are these people with cameras?
It's Jerry Seinfeld all over.
I mean,
again.
come on.
That's
or the
so
pencil,
That's your answer.
or the pencil. We should have just stuck with pens. We had pens first. No, we've been using ink. We were using ink before we were using
With the
graphite.
little
What do we gotta use
dabby thing,
graphite?
right?
What do we gotta use graphite for? Just use pens. I don't like pencils
What
very
about
much.
the-
You ever ask for a pen and someone hands you a pencil and you just wish they would have killed
I feel
themselves
like
2 weeks ago
if-
so you didn't have to go
If
through
we
that?
put it in Pokemon terms,
Mm.
I feel like the pencil is like the middle stage evolution, where pens were first, but they were a real pain in the ass. It was like a feather you had to load every 2 words, and then the pencil was a revolution because you could just keep writing.
You're like, we're burning all this
and then
coal,
now we
can
have
make it
quick
into
ink pens, and
sticks
it's like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Feathers were the.
Everybody go to Wonder Fair in Lawrence, Kansas, and you can get these really cool wooden pens, guys. They're pretty fun.
So do you
Little
think the
ballpoint wooden
original
pens.
pens were like some
Is
guy
that
that
one?
said, "I'm going to make a
Yeah.
fortune off of this pigeon," and they just ripped all of the feathers out of it and then just let it go, and it just wandered
It was
around.
like his fifth idea of what to do with this pigeon. He was like, I'm going to make money out of this somehow.
And do pigeons regenerate feathers if they're all pulled off? I don't understand.
No, but they make small pigeons that can be raised for their feathers.
It's like a pigeon with a 101 Dalmatians coat made of pigeon feathers from all the baby pigeons that they had to murder.
You got a pen pigeon and a carrier pigeon. One, you fuck up to write the letter, and the other one sends it. And then it's just this whole class dynamic between the fucking pigeons.
Poor naked pigeon.
I thought that like it was the same pigeon, and he's just in this weird cycle of abuse where like you pluck the feather out, but then you hand him, and here's the letter that I made with that pen. You need to take it to so and so.
But you have to address
You have to
it.
wait
You have to compensate in the address you're sending it to for the fact that now he's going to fly 2 degrees to the left.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because he makes tips.
Just that week, though. Then the next week, you pull out feathers from the other side and you confront.
You even it up. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a whole branch
You
of
just
science.
pull 2
that's
feathers
dead now.
every time. You just pull 2 feathers every time and keep it symmetrical. He never has to fly fucked up.
And all I'm saying is thank God for the ballpoint.
yeah.
Until
Yeah.
you've pulled enough feathers so he can't get off the ground, and then we're screwed.
Well,
Then he
then you
walks.
eat them
Well, then
and
he
get a
goes
new
to stud.
pigeon. Yeah.
And he makes new pigeons.
Stud pigeon. I'm a stud pigeon. Look at me. Ain't got no feathers.
A lot of times you can't tell what sex, and you can't always tell the sex of the pigeon until you get most of the feathers off anyway. So,
This-
I mean, that's like,
Long story short, this is the circle of life.
And it something's us all. What does it do to all of us?
the circle of life.
Yeah.
Grind us down.
Moves us all. Okay.
Or grinds us down. Same
Or
difference.
death. Yeah.
There you go.
Grind it. Dan, how boring are you? That's not me. That's the card.
Depends on who you ask.
Well, we're asking
according-
you.
according
Card
to
number
this-
69.
According to this table, very. But I don't know. I think I'm a very interesting person, actually.
Nice.
I mean,
So 0 to 10. 0 to 10, boring. Where are you going to put yourself on that scale?
so 0
The
meaning
higher, the more boring. Yeah.
The higher, the more boring. I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
with
God.
I'm gonna go with
What are you doing, honey?
5. I'm going right down the middle. I see
Look
people
at
that are probably
this.
more boring than me all the time, and people that are less boring to me. I'm like, man, I'd like to be more like that person, but screw them. You know?
Can you be a
because-
boring person but do kind of exciting things?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Could I be boring and do exciting things, or would people
Yeah.
look at my exciting thing
It's like the
going,
pilot
"Wow,
on-
he's not boring. Look at what he's doing. He's
Just
jumping out of
skydiving, like-
airplanes." I have skydived.
It'd be like
Reading
the
the phone
pilot.
book.
You'd be the pilot. You could be the pilot on the skydiving plane, but every time you go home, you're just making ships and bottles all day. And then you go and you fly the plane. Other people
what is
skydive.
this?
You land. You go home and you just make more ships and bottles.
yum.
See, I went skydiving when static line was cool, where you didn't have to be attached to somebody to do
Shark
it.
Week.
Now they don't let you jump out of a plane without being
Really?
attached to somebody. Most people.
Now you have to get your own plane to jump out of.
You guys are missing
Can't
out
stop
on
you
this
then.
tuna. I mean, it's shark meat. It's not tuna. Big
Oh, it's
shit.
shark.
It's a real shark.
So is that
Yeah, the third
bread?
course is
that
shark fin
bread that
soup,
it's on?
actually.
What is that?
What?
What is this?
Baguette?
Baguette. Gotcha.
Hard bread.
Baguette.
Nice.
Yeah. You know that How
ASMR.
to Kill a
No, it's
British
fine.
Vampire? Yep. Stick a baguette through its heart.
Nice.
I would say 2.
A lot of
On this
wood in
scale
British
for-
bread. What's-
What if it's a Texan vampire? T-bone steak.
What if it's an energy vampire?
And
I don't know.
I thought
I'm
you had-
trying to get rid of these energy vampires. I keep coming back. You know,
do you see them often?
yeah, I can get them to disappear if I mirror them for long enough, but like, it's only a matter of time. Thanks, Jack.
I got that.
Anyways,
It's a reflection.
Dana True Card. Yeah, reflection.
Wow.
Refraction?
Okay, so this is. Oh, this is so stupid.
Shout out to Maggie Harris for making all of our cards that aren't the Asshole deck.
Jack,
Okay.
tonight's voted the worst question of the evening.
Well, it's not voted yet.
I did.
It's an executive order.
The first
Dan
time.
mailed his in.
Yes, the first time you played a sport. I mean, it's just like.
Oh, wait. I make it brief because technically this card is illegal.
Sports!
Yeah.
I think I played T-ball when I was like 4. So
Okay, fair enough.
That's
Next.
so cool, dude. Okay, Vicky, it's your card. I'm voting with Dan.
Right, okay. I mean,
Maggie, I love
don't
you,
wanna
but I'm
break the
voting with
rules.
Dan.
I mean, here,
Okay,
you know, so
yeah.
let's move on.
Ah, take us home, country
Well,
roads.
Was that that he made you ask that question too, didn't he? I mean, when
He-
asked Jack.
yeah, he
I'll
asked
ask-
me.
I'll ask Tyler then.
Oh, okay.
Tyler or Taylor?
Tyler.
Where is Tyler, by the way?
Where's Taylor.
Which Tyler?
It doesn't
Durden.
matter.
Of course. Ah,
Who knows?
This
I don't
should
talk
be a
about
Dan.
there's a Tyler Durden in all of us.
He hasn't been in me. I don't know about you.
That's because
beg
you
to
didn't
differ,
believe
yeah.
him when he said
Right.
he loved you.
Yes,
okay.
that's true. Good point.
We'll change this to Dan.
And he's not a turtle.
Just because I want to watch him try to answer this.
She wants to watch him
I
squirm.
want to watch you
I'm
squirm.
sitting
think
right
I know
next to you,
what
so you
card
can
this
just
is.
turn this way if you want to. Really.
Maybe I shouldn't because we do have to ride home in the car together.
Is this the who would you most like to have sex with question?
We know that's me. Duh. No. No, but this could be this could also be me. Out of that's not true. I'm married and I don't listen to this, Tremblay. Out of all your past sexual experiences, which one
Ooh.
has made you most uncomfortable?
Dun dun dun.
Wow. That's a great question. Because they've all made me uncomfortable. But
Otherwise, you're not doing it right.
exactly.
Those are yummy.
I would say when I met this gal and the first thing out of her mouth was we should go to the bathroom and do it. You know, I was at a party and alcohol may or may have not been involved.
Gotcha. How
And
old
she-
were you?
Probably about the 24 to 25 range.
Nice.
And then the words came out of her mouth because I may or may have not taken her to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And then I said I had to use the bathroom. And she may have or may not have asked to hold it while I peed.
Oh.
And
Classic.
then I let her, but then I couldn't pee. So
You say
was
she
very-
may or may not have asked. Which I know is just basic evasion. But, like, the premise of this is, what's the most awkward experience? And you're like, may or may not. We know which
What
one
made
it
you the
is.
most uncomfortable?
see, that's just where you're wrong, maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
That's why you may or may not be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, so I would say that. I mean, it was just an awkward sexual, if you want to call holding my thing where I was trying to.
If you want
pee
to
with-
call holding a penis sexual,
Yeah, then that's
Was she holding it still, or was she holding it
because
like
I hold
this?
my.
that would have
penis
made it harder to pee.
It was more of a...
several times a day. Several times a day I hold it and I pee, and I don't think it's sexual at all. But you know,
it's like getting the Model T started.
Right. And then she actually said, when I couldn't go, she said, "Am I doing it wrong?" And I'm like, "No, you're not." I mean,
There
is
is-
there
there
any
is no right
or
way. You
should have
wrong
told her, yeah,
way
this is
to
a you
hold it?
thing.
Yes, it's yeah,
This
it's you. It's
this
not
is
me.
literally the opposite of eating a Reese's.
Right.
There's no right way.
Yes, but it's you. It's not me. You know. So, I would say that was the weirdest
that's
thing I've
funny.
ever come across. Yeah. Well, I didn't come across it, but the weirdest thing that ever happened. Yeah. Thanks
Didn't
for
even
that.
pee across it.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was weird. I said I made her leave so I could pee, and then
And I came back out.
and by that time she had went to get another drink, and we forgot all about that. I think.
Nice.
So
Well, apparently you remembered.
I've never forgot that.
She
That's
told
how-
the story on the podcast 3 weeks ago.
No. Fair enough. I'll have to go back to that episode because I can't remember who she was.
Ah,
I think it's
Jack,
me.
I think it is you.
Do another one. of
Good
these
question,
green
Vicky.
Good question. No, did you notice?
I gotta get
nobody
like
else
little
offered
red
to
lights
answer?
that I can put next to
Alright.
people's microphones that like light up when it's their turn. That'd be fun.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Vicky,
Yes.
on planet A, everyone's 30% dumber, and you're a genius by comparison. On planet
So
B, on
What is
planet B,
Planet B?
everyone's 30% smarter, and you're an idiot by comparison. You stay the same. Which planet would you prefer to live on?
I would rather be on. Oh God, I don't know. It'd be hard to be able to deal with all those dumbasses. Probably B, because then they would be the one having to deal with a dumbass all the time. It wouldn't be me. Because I would probably go to jail.
They all just.
And I mean, you
vote
might
to
qualify
euthanize
for
you.
benefits.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't know.
Plus, if everybody else was dumber than me, I wouldn't have all the stuff that I need, like lights and who's going to fix my car and.
I've seen some pretty dumb mechanics.
Yeah, but they still got to be smart enough to fix a car.
Yeah.
Or you said Planet B could be spaceships. We don't know that that's how they're traveling on Planet B, right?
And I could go visit Planet A sometimes when I wanted to feel smart.
True.
Because I'd be getting all those benefits.
What if Planet B was naked and afraid? I mean, that would.
Would I be 30% more naked?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Everyone else is 30% more clothed, and you're naked by comparison. No. Okay. Vicky,
Yes.
in your personal experience, even if the difference is extremely slight, no bias in the card, are men or women better at handling suffering? The card is afraid of itself. It's like it's giving you outs the whole time.
Well, I think, oh God, suffering is such a nebulous thing. I mean, some things people suffer over, but I don't know if it's statistically, but biologically, women are able to handle more pain. That's how come we die of heart attacks more often, because we don't realize we're having one. And we can push a baby out, and we can like hold a baby longer than a guy can. A man holding a baby for 10 minutes gets worn out, whereas we've got the good muscles, not good muscles, but the kind of muscles that can hold it for a long time.
I don't know.
I think suffering is harder for men because they're not able to let it out. Like a woman, I mean, a woman can suffer and they're not looked down upon so much as a man who would complain about their suffering bits,
Interesting.
I think. But I think women are built to endure more physical suffering.
Yeah.
pain suffering. I don't
Makes
think
sense.
guys can take physical pain. They might be able to take mental pain more, but I don't know.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.com. You can all go
I've
to,
certainly put a lot of guys to the test. How much mental pain can you stand?
you go to BetterHelp.com. You use promo code MARBLES, and it will give you nothing. Dan, I think it's your card.
It is not, but I'll take one.
Is it not? I think I
I'm
just asked. Vicky.
messing
Okay.
with you. And it's funny how we all pick a card, we read the card before we decide who we want to ask a question to.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I mean,
I don't always.
really.
True.
Jack,
Okay.
of all the beliefs you hold, which I know is only a couple, which is most likely to be considered barbaric? Wait, in 150 years.
Oh.
Which is most likely to be considered barbaric in 150
So in the
years.
future, yeah. If you need an explanation of
Linear time. This
Yeah,
episode is brought to you by Linear Time. If you scroll down to the playhead, you can
Right.
experiment with linear time today.
So you have this belief that's, wow.
Yeah.
Well, like 150 years ago, it was believed that it was okay for 50-year-old men to marry 12-year-olds.
Oh, that then.
But I mean, that's kind of what
Pretty
we're
good.
talking about, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Something that
It is
seems
now.
fine now. Something that you think is, this isn't fine now, but like,
Well, I suppose. Well, I'm pro-choice, and there's a chance the political debate could go exactly the opposite direction, which would cause that to be considered a barbaric position.
yeah.
Yep. How about eating pig? I mean, seriously, because I think someday it'll be where pigs are like dogs or pets, or we see them as
Could be.
Yeah, we could start
human.
eating dogs.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm iffy on that anyway, though. So.
Eating dogs?
No, marrying 12-year-olds.
Have you tried them?
He's iffy on his pro-choice stance. He's like, I don't know. Cries like a dog.
Oh, it's me.
Oh.
I'll do crystal ball, and I'll do. Who did I ask last time? Taylor? Dan?
I think you asked Dan.
Taylor, when will marriage become obsolete in Western culture? What will take its place? Ah. Oh, you want the
Marriage
question?
become obsolete in Western culture, and what will take its place?
Is there anything that could take its place?
Baby daddies, baby mamas.
Yeah. Like divorce. Divorce only exists as the other side of the coin that marriage perpetuates through youth and stupidity. But I don't know. I disagree with the card. I think that there's usually going to be a pretty good utility for formal pair bonding between primates. We seem to have not kicked the habit, and while that doesn't make it a positive thing or anything or a moral obligation, it does seem to be a functional system that we've built to shunt more kids out to become low cost prison labor at the very least.
Yeah.
And as long as we're wanting to make more of that, we're going to need more of the other. Plenty of, and at the point that it does become obsolete, I don't think anything would take its place. I think that it's too baked in of a habit. People do it. We're gonna keep doing it.
Well, and there's like 6 things anthropologically that are cultural universals, and marriage rituals are one of them.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like human
Really?
culture does not exist without marriage.
Yeah.
Ideology.
Did your wife write this card?
Now, here's the thing. How can you be against your cards on your podcast?
I'm against my podcast on
Well, that makes
other
sense.
podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all.
Fair enough.
This is all compulsion. I'm a bowerbird. I stack sticks and then call birds over to come look at my sticks while I dance around and squawk at them. You know, no motive or anything. It's just a thing I do.
Right?
I just think I got good sticks. Look at my sticks.
Yeah.
Don't you
think
shoe head
it's-
sticks
These
like
are
this?
Beta 58A sticks.
Look at my
Okay, they have a supercardioid pickup pattern.
I think
okay?
Taylor's just trying to
They
avoid
do. These are
stress.
nice.
Oh, Jack, I think it's your card.
Oh,
It is.
I'll do another green one. I like the green ones.
We're gonna run out of green cards,
Uh-oh.
so no Mexicans allowed.
Oh my god.
Taylor, is torture ever permissible?
Ooh,
I mean,
depends on what room of the house you're in.
what. Yeah. Plenty of places permit torture. Okay, you can. It's permitted. Plenty of places. A simple consent can be seen as permission to torture. Yeah, I think anytime that you have consent to torture somebody, that's a bit of it is permissible.
Is it torture if they consent, though?
I don't think sadomasochism is torture.
I'm sure it can be. I don't want to test. I don't want to do the legwork to test out this theory, Jack. I don't want to. I'm a pussy. But but I don't think that anyone's ever like legitimately tortured somebody against their will and then felt great about it and also had a normal brain. Okay, listen. You know, don't do it.
Fair enough.
I'm a mom. I can see
What
that.
about
This
I,
episode is brought to you by The Line. No.
Vicky, do you think it's cool to torture people?
I don't know that it's cool, but I could.
I mean,
Batman
you're into
sure made
murder-
it look
you
good.
are so into murder mysteries.
I am
and
very much into murder mysteries, into true crime, and I've read some true crime things, and I've, in my head, thought if somebody did that to somebody that I loved, yeah, I would probably chain them up in the basement for a couple days.
What if somebody did it to somebody you hated?
I would applaud.
Have you ever watched a podcast or a murder mystery or something where you're like, man, I know that would have had to hurt, but that is so cool.
No, I listened to one time. I listened to one time where I told Randy to hide my car keys because I was going to drive to that city and burn that woman's house down. I was so angry about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pissed. The Vera Goodnight Sugar Babe, did you ever see that one?
Good night, sugar babe.
That woman needed to be buried under the
What'd she do?
jailhouse. She had a girl that was living with her that was kind of developmentally disabled, and it was all these inbred hillbilly hick people, and they were just awful. And they took her to the train tracks and took her clothes off and beat her and killed her and beat her and killed her and killed her some more and then beat her. And it was.
What was she, a cat? Did she have 9 lives?
It was awful. It was awful, and maybe it was just the way that they presented it. But I was so
When you
mad.
put it like that, sounds horrendous.
It's just
Right.
really. Maybe if you'd have said it in a nicer way, I wouldn't have gotten so mad. But
I retract the
hated. I mean, I
question.
googled that lady, and I was like, and it was it
They
sounds
had
like
an oopsie with her jugular.
I was that was. I would have tortured her all day long.
Fair enough. I'm sorry I asked that question
Yeah.
to you.
Torture for torture.
Torture. Is it me again?
Poetic justice, they call
I
it.
don't know.
I think it's
Taylor,
who asked me if torture is ever permissible? You did? Okay, it's my card. Had that one too recently on the podcast.
See, I told you, shuffling
I know,
is the
right?
key.
They were shoveled. Okay.
Another green card.
Did you know Allie got married? Speaking of green cards.
Yes.
Who?
Oh, Allie Godos. I don't know if you
Oh,
ever
okay,
met her.
yeah.
Comedian
Nice.
friend
Congratulations.
from Peru.
Nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
People getting married, man.
This is her second marriage.
It's her second marriage.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know.
The first one was just to get her legally
The
into the
first one
country.
was
Nice.
yeah.
Just to get her legally.
Oh
here.
well, go her. She finally, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to, take two.
Now she builds shelters for kids who are coming across illegally. So yeah.
That was a
Took a
bad
bite right
tactical
before I was
decision.
like, yeah.
That was just.
Hey, Vicky.
Yes.
This is podcast content, okay? If you could press a button. Vicky, if you could press a button that would make you feel deeply and permanently that everything was okay, would you? Assume you'd remain functional in the world.
Like the button on my vape pen.
Answers the question.
No, because
Really?
I don't think if you always felt okay, then you'd never know when you were really really
The
happy.
limits were? I don't know.
You know,
Yeah.
I think you got to have sad in order
So what if it's
to
a button
appreciate.
that for the next 24 hours you're
Oh,
gonna feel?
I would just feel everything
Would
was
you-
okay.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Would you press it every day?
No. Well,
How many
yeah,
times
I
can
don't
you
know.
press? I mean, is it a repeat button? You can just put on repeat.
You don't know going in just one day. You're like, oh fuck, the button's broken.
Yeah.
So I'd have to
This
decide.
isn't okay.
No, you just gotta. You pull it out. You're like, it takes those fucking watch batteries. I gotta go to the special store.
Like every Sunday, I'd just not press it so that I could have all the bad shit happen in that
Yeah.
day and feel bad about it and then be over it. So being like a Catholic, like going to confession and being clean, and then having to start the whole week over.
I feel like I'm going to need that after this podcast, to be honest with you. That's just me.
A button to make you feel okay, or Catholic
Both, yeah,
confession?
that and the confession, you know.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. Forgive me, Father. I went on a podcast.
Forgive me,
would be
Father, for
funny,
I
yeah.
sinned. It has been 3
Right.
weeks since my last
And then
confession. You know what? Never mind.
Exactly.
I'm good.
That's what I was going to say. He gives you a button, you know. You take the button with you to confess. Yeah, that's great. That's a good idea. I like it. So.
No, I mean, it's the same way about things like being in the dark and having rain and believing in the devil. I mean, you can't have good if you don't have the bad. I think you can't enjoy sunlight if you're never in the dark. And I suppose you could. Maybe that's just my Catholic upbringing, thinking you have to suffer to. Takes pain to be beautiful. That's what my grandma used to tell me when she'd pull my
Terrifying.
hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, when she cut your hair,
when
you
she
was
pulled
like,
the rats out of my hair. Quit crying. It takes pain to be beautiful.
Nice.
Okay.
well, at least
You own 150 years. We're gonna. No, I don't.
That's why I go, it's like,
Dan, I think it's your card.
it is my card, but I'm not going to take a green one because we're about out of those.
Yeah. You don't want to be a racist.
Nope.
I want to show favoritism to a color group.
So you're going to take the yellow card.
It just tested so well. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Taylor,
Taylor.
What?
I feel like you've probably had this question before.
I've probably had all the questions before. It's all good. I'll generate a new answer.
Well, then it doesn't seem like it's legit.
Oh, it will be.
Okay.
There's plenty of me in here.
That's what I've heard. So,
According to this card.
yeah. So do you have more thoughts or more feelings?
Or thoughts about feelings.
Do you have more thoughts throughout a day, or do you have more feelings throughout a day? I guess, is it a roller coaster of...
Yeah,
oh,
probably more. Yeah, I think there's more. I have bigger words per minute on, but they're all describing feelings. Listen, I don't know. I don't like the thought-feeling duality thing. It's weird because, like, what are most of your thoughts about? What are most of your thoughts about? Like, how you feel about things, no? So do you count thoughts about how you feel as feelings, or do those go out of the tally and then you just stack up your thoughts about how you feel about things against your thoughts about Mark Zuckerberg? I don't know, but usually it's your thoughts about how you feel about Mark Zuckerberg, right? It's it creeps me out. That's a feeling. It goes
Most
over
of my
into the
thoughts
feelings.
are about the Spanish Civil War. So I don't know.
How do you feel about the Spanish Civil War?
Have you ever had anybody that
Really wish it would have
said,
gone the other way.
you should express your
Based? I
feelings
don't-
more? I mean, that's the thing, So if you get that question, you should express your feelings more, then that means you're not, you probably have more thoughts than you do feelings because... Or maybe you have more feelings, but
No,
you're
I think I
expressing them.
definitely, I think it would definitely be the more the Well, you should be expressing your feelings more because you have all these thoughts about them. So what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this? You're going to put them in a notebook and put it under your bed,
And then you're going to go on stage and make
under
jokes
the other
about
notebooks. And then you're going to make jokes about something else. You're going to make jokes about the Spanish Civil War.
Is that
while
why you're a
you
comedian?
think about Mark Zuckerberg
And then
have
you're going to do
feelings.
the act for years and years until the feelings are just dead.
And you retired or you've gone.
And nobody laughs anymore. So,
Nobody laughs anymore.
because you've been using the same thoughts and feelings for the last
Yeah.
18 sets that you've went on stage with.
Yeah, but it's the same set.
Right.
It's the last 18 stages.
So it's me,
Yes.
Jack. Before I even draw, I'll pick you.
All right.
Good one.
The first time you performed for an audience.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know what?
No, what?
You've just been born.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my love.
In a frog uniform, is that what it is?
Came out with a little nose and mustache and funny glasses.
It would have been a piano recital when I
Nice.
was probably 7 or 8.
And you
So
can
you play the piano?
At one point, I would not claim that now. I quit as soon as I was allowed to quit. Never look back.
The piano, you loved it.
What was that?
Did you tell the piano you loved it?
Every day.
See, you should
Didn't feel it.
It never responded.
But I do have a funny story about it. I don't think it was my first performance, but it was a recital I had. I was supposed to play that song. I think it's called Molly Malone. It's like it's a classical piano song that's like, it's kind of like Chopsticks. It's one of the more introductory ones. And so like everyone who regularly attends piano recitals will know this song. And that's important for the story.
I have only been to none, so.
Fair enough. And I went up, and the song has like a little intro, and then it gets into the verses or whatever. And I made a minor mistake on the intro, and I like paused too long. And I was like, and at that moment, if I had just gone, I could either have just dove into the verse and it would have been fine, or I could have like started over and it would have been like, oh, that's an interesting variation, but okay. What I decided to do instead of that was go into a blind panic, let my mind completely go blank, and start punching random notes on the keyboard. Just playing absolutely not a song. And then I also had that moment, or that feeling of like, wait, how long are songs again? Like, when can this be over?
And how old were you again?
Probably 8.
Wow, okay.
What, they don't give you a light at piano recitals?
They sure don't.
Crazy, yeah.
And or most open mics. Shout out Thomas Hughes. Anyway,
Shout out Thomas Hughes, host of most open mics.
yeah, he is. As we speak, not lighting Mikey Corny.
True.
Nobody lights Mikey the Corny.
Still bullying
They
him,
light
just
him, he
not
just
lighting
doesn't
him.
get off stage.
Yeah. But anyway, so I played just absolutely random notes for maybe 3.5 minutes, to where it's like, this feels like it's been a song. And then I played a couple of chords that were very like the end, and I got up and all but sprinted off the stage.
Did anybody applaud?
Yes, they were very polite. I'm sure they were all like, what the? And I was like 8, and my teacher had to be very diplomatic. You know, she was just, well, you're certainly a master of improvisation.
And then you became a comedian.
Oh yeah. This is my origin story.
Jack was like, I don't know about master, but I am pretty good. So yeah, thanks for recognizing that.
That's awesome.
When do I get paid?
Oh,
Are you playing Molly Malone?
I thought I was. Is this it? But it's can't be right.
I don't know, but
I think that's probably a very beginner version. It might have been. I don't know.
yeah. I knew how to play chopsticks, but
Yeah.
I added some variations to it as well, but I never got any applause, so it's all crazy.
I think that is.
There it is.
How far into
And the podcast just got copyright struck.
Oh shit!
Copyright flag. Copyright
Damn
flag.
it! No, that's
Okay,
an old
won't be
enough song. You
copyright
shouldn't have to
struck.
pay copyrights
Yeah,
on
you're
that.
right. You're right.
I say if they're letting little kids play it when they're 8 years old, surely they're not. You weren't
Okay,
paying
yeah.
copyright for that, were you?
But you don't have to pay copyright for a public performance.
Maybe we'll find out soon
It's
enough.
just a.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be good. Who drew that card? Whose card is it?
Who asked? Jack
What was
that
it?
Who
question?
asked it?
think it was-
You asked.
oh, so it's me.
You asked him before you read it.
Go for a first. Dan,
Oh, no.
the first time everyone hated you,
Let's see.
which I know that just seems like a clause, but it's a question.
It is a great question.
You know, once he said I was from Missouri at Bassett, and
I knew that then Taylor hated me, and then you hated me when I introduced you from the wrong place as well.
I didn't
But
hate you.
are
I
you
just said
talking-
"fuck this guy's high five," and like
Okay,
that we
and-
let it.
and
we
that's
left it
true.
there.
we finally got closure on that.
I don't know. I think the first time I realized I was hated was when my parents told me that when I was like 3.
That you were why they were breaking up.
Well, they just didn't. No, they didn't break up. They just hated each other, and then they took it out on me, I think.
Gotcha.
But then that's okay because I could take a punch at 3. I mean, most of the time. But
As long as the
That's one of those-
aftercare is the important part.
that's
really.
when I
With
learned
the
how
right
to use
aftercare,
tools.
you'd be amazed how far you can push someone. No.
In
I learned
150
how to
years,
use
that'll be considered
tools at
barbaric.
a very because when my parents would lock me in my room,
Okay.
Here's the thing. I learned how to use tools because I got tired of getting locked in my room, so I disabled the lock
Nice.
to where I never got locked in my room again. They thought that they did, but
So it would still turn, just it
Yeah,
didn't
I would
have
just-
the
yeah,
little
it was
thing
pretty
that
cool.
would, yeah.
because they weren't smart enough to actually test the lock after they locked
Well, that's
it.
on them then.
Well,
And then you could
that's-
sneak out at night and hide knives around the house just to scare them.
I tried. Well, true story. My bed.
Yeah, true. That's
Now
exactly
that you
what I
mention
did.
that.
No, but it's like I was on the second floor of our house, and I jumped out of the second story window, thinking that it was cool, but I didn't realize how far down it was.
Was this
and
before
so-
or after they started locking the door on
It
your
wasn't-
bedroom?
Didn't matter at that point.
I like to think it was the inciting incident, and they were really dumb. They were
Yeah.
like, he fell out of the window. Let's lock the door.
Now you're bringing back memories that I don't. I had tried to forget, but it's all. No, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about in general, when I think people hated me, is that what you're saying? So you're just saying people hate me. So is that the question?
Well, I was saying.
What was the first time everyone hated you?
Yeah, first
So
time.
everyone hates me, is what you're saying.
I read a card, and you're coming at me like,
We're
I,
saying that everyone has hated you
I know, and that's what I'm getting
on
at.
occasion.
Like, I think-
and
I
we're
think you're
calling
wondering
it out on
when
this
was the
podcast.
first
Why are you
time that
reminding
you
me?
noticed that everyone was hating
When I
you?
was born, I
When you
mean,
were
I
born,
just
okay,
remember
yeah.
it was like it was crazy. I'm just
There was just
Well,
a
the
group
doctor slapped
grown.
the shit out of him, and it was just.
Yeah.
yeah. They didn't stop hating me. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't 7. I'm just gonna go with a number here. 7. I don't know.
He was 7.
I was
That was
7
the
at the
first
time.
7. The first time was 7.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
he was just sitting in that movie theater going, oh, God.
Dan,
I was at church,
I don't
and all
care
the
that
other little
everyone hates
boys
you.
got together in
I
the confessional with the
find you
priest,
tolerable.
and then nobody
well,
would let me
at
go.
least someone will tolerate me. That's important. Fair enough.
I'll settle for a chilled resentment. No, Vicky, at what age should children be given the talk / sex ed ? And by whom? Who/whom/ scribbles.
Well, I mean, as soon as they are able, the talk. I don't think there should be the talk. I think it should just be a thing that you talk about
Yes.
a lot. I mean,
I can't listen to this.
when I mean, the little kids are going to ask
Spoilers.
when her baby's. Why is that woman fat? Well, she's got a baby in there. Well, how'd she get a baby in there? You got to tell them something. So I think when they start asking the questions,
Yeah,
and because I'm a girl, I think
that's when you get them a
moms-
Pornhub Premium account.
That's exactly
and
right.
You,
you start
they
you
pay
bring
for
in
it
the
with their
turtles.
allowance money.
You say, "Here's a turtle. Watch him.
Yeah.
See what he's doing to that rock? Well, that ain't right. But that's the way boy turtles are.
If that rock were alive, it would have a baby later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like it should be the mom, but maybe not in all cases.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I guess guys can do it. Maybe guys should do it to guys and girls do it to girls. But that's probably like sexist.
You know, in Uganda, that's illegal.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No.
Damn it.
Dan went to the bathroom. Whenever someone goes to the bathroom, we have to gossip about them. Hey, Vicky, do you remember the first time you met Dan? What was the first time you met
You
Dan?
know, I don't, because
don't?
I was probably really, really drunk. We started doing stand-up comedy together back in the old days
Okay.
at a place called Sneakers, and we both worked with a DJ named Dan Ballard. So that's where I met him,
Interesting.
and then I met him again probably in like 2015, maybe,
Oh, yeah,
when
cool.
he started coming back to Top City,
Nice.
because I started doing that in 2011.
Okay. Nice. What were your first impressions of Dan? As you got to know him, what were your?
Oh. I like it. I mean, he's okay. He's okay. He works.
Okay.
He does his thing. What he's supposed
You
to
understand why everyone hates him, but
Yeah,
you're
I
fine with
get
him.
it. Yeah,
Okay. I don't.
do. Yeah, that's the thing. I might have been a little jealous of him because Dan Ballard was, he didn't respect women very much. There was a definite difference in treatment because.
You know, in 150 years, that's going to be considered barbaric.
It would be it was barbaric then. I was just like, you are such a horn dog. No.
Oh, we got more food coming through.
Oh my God.
It's just cookies.
Ah.
Thank you, Ani.
And it's made out of fish. Fish
Sharks.
shark cookies. So I don't know. As soon as they can start talking, is the age, and start asking the questions.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should ever lie to them about it. I think you need to let them know what
Based.
it is. I mean, I don't think you should make them watch it.
Yeah.
when they're little kids. But if they walk in the room and they see it, you got to tell them you were doing something.
Jack, when did Dan first give you the talk?
Well, I shunned a high five. And he was like,
He was like, "This is why you'll never have a kid."
come sit on my knee, kid.
When did you first meet him, though? When did you first meet Dan? Do you remember? How old?
I don't know. It would have been when you guys were doing Top City together, probably. So, I mean, within the last couple years.
Was it before when it was the break room? Yeah, because you were at the break room.
I was at the break room, but Steve was booking it.
But Dan was always around. He would always he was coming a lot when Steve was booking.
Then it would have been in those days.
All right. You a lot different back then, or has it just been no name changes? No,
not for the most part.
Interesting.
He was a girl back then.
But no big changes.
Yeah, no big changes.
Yeah.
Hi, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, we were talking about sex ed.
Oh, I'm glad, because
We wondered when you had the talk.
Yeah. How old were you?
I don't think I ever really had the talk.
Same.
My dad just said, figure it out. And then he locked me in my room. So,
Figure it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's some lotion.
My mom. The only thing my mom ever told me is like, if you do decide, I think she used the word decide to do anything, make sure you protect yourself
Interesting.
and everyone around you.
And, that's why Dan does it with a catcher's mask now.
That's true.
My mom said something slightly different. She said, "Wait until you're 18 to pick one to like." That was my bumper sticker.
Wow.
Wait until you're
Awkward
18.
verbiage. Parents will use sometimes.
So how old were you when you had your first girlfriend then?
Probably 16.
But he didn't like her.
I was gonna say. Yeah. Good point. Good point.
He ran on her like a steam engine, but he didn't like her at all. He didn't start liking him until they were 18. I'm sorry. I'm sure you were very nice to her. I'm sure she's listening, going, "God damn it, he said he liked me."
Jesus Christ,
She's one of
I
his-
hope not.
She's one of his subscribers on his podcast, and she's like, "That son of a."
That's Dan. I think it's your card.
He said he loved me.
Oh man.
I shouldn't have. Okay.
I don't know. This one looks kind of cool.
Those are
It's
pretty.
also very
are.
long, so I'm just.
You can do a long one.
You can read. I think.
This is actually a great question. Jack,
Uh-oh.
how would you tell someone that you've been dating that you don't want to go out anymore?
Oh.
I mean, and first of all, have you ever dated?
yeah.
Okay, I mean,
How old the
'cause
hell?
I
are you?
could,
You
I,
divorce your wife.
I could rotate that question around.
I think when I've done it, I've just kind of said, "Hey, we should not do this."
Did you ever say it's you, not me? I mean,
No,
Okay.
I haven't said that. Yeah, I think you just try to be pretty direct of like,
You
yeah,
more of an I'm just really busy right now kind of guy.
Yeah, I guess
I don't
so.
think this is working out. You know,
Kindly fuck off.
Or
I
I'd
found
like you to meet my
somebody
wife.
better. Yeah. Right. That's awesome. Well, good to know. Good to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Now
Okay.
they do.
This is for Dan.
Oh, of course.
We'll go to white question.
Take that, inquiring minds.
Oh, here we go.
Go to white questions.
I already know this one.
You do?
It's me. No. What is your
Wow.
greatest insecurity?
Vicky. Yes, it's Vicky.
Hey, let's dig into that.
What is your currently... What is currently your greatest
Yes.
insecurity?
The one just you have this very minute. Getting home safely.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden with Vicky?
Viewers at home can look at the bottom half of the screen to see Dan nervously shuffling his hands while thinking of an answer to this question.
Knowing he has to ride home in my car.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's just Vicky's butt.
Yeah. I mean,
God damn it.
Leave my butt alone.
I'm
riding
gonna
on my
say my weight
Interesting.
Honestly, I mean, I don't like being 400 pounds.
What are you made of? Titanium?
No.
He's had
Mine's-
surgeries lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm wearing a man girdle at this point, because just to keep everything intact.
Intact.
Dan, you just had a
Futurama.
C-section. It's your post-pregnancy
true.
body. God.
Yeah, but it does make.
You got a new joke?
What's up?
You just gave birth? No, I don't.
It could be. I
Doesn't
did
matter.
feel
I'm
like I
gonna
just
derail
gave birth
things.
sometimes.
Yeah, greatest insecurity.
Yeah, I just
It was
say my
your
weight.
weight?
I mean,
Okay,
I would think
fair
so.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a patient guy.
I'm not a patient guy.
Is it me?
What? Yeah, I think it's you. Yeah, you don't like to wait. It doesn't matter.
Sorry about your weight.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry about the wait.
Yeah. Sorry about your weight. And,
That's pretty good. I like
Your
that.
answers don't matter.
This
so-
is so part one of this is I think a test for sociopathy, and part two is a test for psychopathy.
Perfect.
When and how do you think your parents are going to die?
Oh, God.
And will you be sad, Taylor?
Oh, I'm laughing too much to pass at least the first test. Let's see.
Well, both of mine are dead, so
I was
that would
gonna
not have been
say,
a good
yeah.
question for me because I could have answered those.
I think my mom's gonna die of some kind of trip or fall in her garden. So that'll be a bummer.
Oddly specific.
Be a bummer.
That's the birth of an alibi right there.
yeah.
right.
And my dad probably just heart failure, just run of the mill heart failure, which is can be nice. So that'll be go
That'd be
team.
the way to go. Just to fall asleep and not wake up. Like, feel your
Hell
heart.
yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be good. You just shit the bed. That's the worst thing that happens when you
And you
go
don't
in
you
your
don't
sleep.
care because you don't have to clean it up.
Yeah. Because you're a sociopath and you don't care about the
Yeah.
other people that are cleaning up after you're dead.
Technically,
Taylor.
all dead people are sociopaths because they don't care.
You appear to have neglected the all-important second part of the question.
I did. I answered it along the way. I said that it'll be a bummer when my mom dies, and I said that
That'd be a bummer.
that it'll be kind of nice when my dad's heart gives out. Okay, listen. I think that because he'll have lived a very full, long sequestered life.
Wow. Okay.
How am I doing on the psychopath test, Jack?
Not great.
You're getting all A's.
I love. Yeah. Got 100, guys. Got 100. First 100. Let's go for.
Great cookies, honey.
Oh, thanks, they're homemade.
I feel like I'm dodging a question that was written to be asked of sociopaths. Dan, how do you feel about school? Question mark.
Currently, or when I went?
Education.
Both.
Yeah, let's go for both.
Well, for years I didn't know that it was more than one day.
I mean, you guys come here every day.
It's like, yeah, so didn't know we were supposed to go back. I mean, I think the pandemic kind of screwed that up a little bit. I mean, because I was pretty into the system. I thought it was great. And then now I think that since we didn't have to go every day, or at least on a regular schedule, now it's just like we're coming up with reasons and excuses not to send our kids to school. So I'm not happy about it at this point. I mean, I think it's an important for people to get an education, but I don't know even if the schooling system is the best place for that. I think
Feels unhappy.
yeah,
Based.
but I just usually Google it or YouTube it or something if I need to know something. Because I know that that's all legit and good answers, and all 100% true, right? I mean, no matter what you Google, it's true.
Cool. That's strange. I don't know what this says about my algorithm, but if I just type school into Google, it tries to autocomplete to school marm. And gives me the dictionary definition of school marm. A school mistress. A school marm is a school mistress. What a helpful definition.
that's
I
the first thing.
think this says more about your search history than
I
it
was
says
going to
about
say, yeah, this is
Google or
this
the
is
nature
your
of school.
specific kink.
Also, third down on the list, School of Rock.
Oh,
See,
We all remember the school marm from School of Rock, right?
Yeah, Jack Black.
principal. Yeah.
See, now that's a
Oh,
cool
that's
school.
right. He was a school marm, wasn't he?
That would be a good school to go to. I'd go to the School of Rock.
How do you feel about the School of Rock?
The movie itself, or Jack Black, or what?
Schools with rocks. I don't.
I mean, yeah, if all schools were
Geology
just.
school.
I don't. Yeah. No.
The first day of a geology PhD program, they have to filter out the people who badly misunderstood. Right. All right, there's the School of Rock. I can see several of you are not in the right place.
You need to take your guitars and leave.
I would totally learn.
You with the purple frill, out.
There's a Planet Comic-Con 8 miles from here. If you...
I do like rocks.
School
Not
of,
that has anything to do with the School of Rock, but
They remind her of turtles.
Oh, you know what? That could be. I never put that together.
Dan, I think it's your card.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they all like get all their legs and head inside their little shell,
Yeah.
they look like a rock.
They do.
I do like the idea of a rock just sprouting legs and a head and walking off one
That's
day.
true.
That'd be nice. Just
That happened one time. I watched-
Easter Island. Fucking
Well,
crazy.
I was thinking 1975 on that acid trip, but
What turtles live a long time though.
But it depends on what you do to them, but yeah.
That's true. Unless they try to cross I-70 and then they're toast. So
yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know from experience they are most definitively mortal.
How do you know, Jack?
yeah. Please expand your answer.
I one time
Okay,
took off their little rib cage.
Jack, when was the first time that you dismembered a turtle? No, that's not what that says. And it's not my card. Dan, I think it's your card. Is it? Yeah,
No,
it's
I
Dan's
think I
card.
just asked. Did I just?
Nah,
ask
you
a
were
question?
just asked by me. How do you feel about school?
Damn it.
True.
Romantic questions.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
romantic
Let's
questions.
go. Let's spice up this episode of the podcast.
Wow. This is a great question for the entire table.
Ooh,
Can I do that?
you can.
Okay, so we'll start with No, I'm going to start with Taylor, and here's why. Because Taylor's rules are basically when you get to the person that is next to draw, they can just draw a card and avoid the question. So we'll start with Taylor.
Oh, you're gonna make it go around. Well, then you're gonna be next.
Oh, so you let me
Okay.
be last, and I can just draw and
Yeah.
not answer.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Is there anything which arouses you that you never admitted to anybody?
Yes.
us here.
Jack.
We know it's turtles for Vicky, but she's admitted it
I
to
was gonna say, I've
everybody.
told
It's like, yeah,
everyone.
so
I don't know about admitted. No.
wow, this
Well,
is such a dumb question because
so we got
they're
one
just
yes,
like
one
no.
no.
Yeah.
We got.
I don't think I've never not admitted to anything like that. I mean,
She's
Why
very
would-
open about her turtles.
what? Yeah. Well, I mean, why would you not tell somebody? You know, stand on the corner with a sign. Hey,
wait.
I really like it up the ass. No,
I have to change my answer.
That's
I just
how you
read
get
my
$20
school
on
mark.
that's
the
how you
right
get
side,
$20.
Yeah. All right, so that was
Homeless vet. Fuck that. That's the sign I want to see.
That's what you're into.
So that wasn't a very good question.
Oh, it's a great question. We're just very boring answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn.
Don't
Not
go.
romantic. I like the flowers.
They do. They're very nicely drawn.
Who did
on
I
there.
ask last time? Jack, I don't think I've asked you anything
Oh,
for a
you
while.
have.
Yeah, but not for a minute. What would you claim are the biggest problem facing youth today? Let's fix the world. What's wrong with these youths? The Utes.
Well, I think for a certain,
Vapes. No.
I think for a certain cadre of youths, it was
The Utes.
the Utes. Yeah, it was COVID fucking up their schooling towards,
Yeah.
especially the ones that were towards the end of high school when COVID
Or
struck.
just starting in.
Yeah, because I have it on good authority that they are struggling pretty hard now.
I think so.
And then also, I think, just the transitional period we're in right now with regards to the rise of AI tools is creating an environment where I think it's probably very difficult to develop the skills you need to like writing skills.
Right, that's what I was
and-
gonna say. Like that's a big one.
but
Probably.
also just the ability to research things, because I think a lot of people who don't understand what AI tools are or how they're used, which is going to be skewing younger, are not going to have the skepticism to be like, oh, this is not capable of making decisions in any meaningful way, and consequently they're learning to rely on these kind of tools in a way that they absolutely shouldn't, which is not necessarily youth only. There's all sorts of people who are falling into that trap, but I would just hate to be trying to develop and not be a full-grown adult in this era, because holy crap, you're just being presented with, oh, look what this can do, and it absolutely cannot.
So do you think that we'll ever get to, because there's apps now that create a fake person that you can have a relationship with? I mean, so do you think there's ever going to be anybody out there that's like, I would rather date my phone person than a
I think
real
there's people
person?
that now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why we are so secluded and don't socialize anymore,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But
They
to be
wonder
honest,
why.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
necessarily so concerned by that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because from the perspective of changing social hierarchies or social interactions, that humans have been coping with changing their social lives around technology for
Years.
Very true.
2 million years.
Right.
The written word shook things up.
Sure did.
Yeah.
But just the incapacity to rely on the accuracy of data has been accelerated by orders of magnitude in the last 5 years, in a way that we've never seen before. And I just can't imagine being young in that environment.
Should ask how you feel about school.
Right.
Nice.
Are you still in school?
No.
You
And the
still in school? No?
You
No.
still in school, Dan?
Depends on define school.
I don't.
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
I'm just kidding. I'm constantly learning. I mean, so that's
humble
cool.
brag.
I do hang out with a lot of fish.
We had
The
fish sticks.
Schooling, yeah.
Yeah,
Shark
true.
sticks.
Shark Week. Gonna learn a lot of facts about
Sharks.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
Who's
Jack,
next?
I think it's
Is
your
it-
card.
Oh, was it me?
Yeah. Vicky had
Pick a
asked
card.
him what
Any card.
the youth
What are these?
About the Utes.
bests cards.
Bests?
Questions about the bests of things.
Vicky, what's the best way for someone to get you to do what they want?
I know the answer to this. Just kidding.
Tell us if she's lying.
Right.
Is it something I absolutely don't want to do?
Could be.
I'm not.
I don't know.
Money. I'm
Okay.
probably, yeah. I mean, if you really want me to do something, you got to figure out a way to pay me, or at least give me. I don't know. I guess it depends on what it is. But money's always a good motivator for me.
Nice.
Okay.
Fair enough. She's not lying.
He knew. He knew, guys.
So,
He knows things. Dan, is
Ah.
there any normalized idea / behavior that you believe should be regarded as abnormal? What's something you'd like to stigmatize? Something that people think is normal that you're like, maybe we should look at people twice when they do this.
Wow.
Or say this.
Or
Taking
say
your
this.
kids to the grocery store.
Ah!
That would be a good one. I guess hanging your head out the window when you drive down the road, I think, is kind of awkward.
I feel like that's a problem that tends to take care of itself.
It can.
Did you see Hereditary?
I'm just, and I mean, I think you should get your windshield replaced if it's cracked that much, but that's just me. I don't
Dan
know.
lives in Topeka.
I do. It's a scary, scary place. So, I think we have normalized. Speaking of Topeka and the crack capital of the world, since we've normalized drugs so much, that, I
Interesting.
think to actually make that not so normalized
Yeah.
would be.
We gotta stop it from becoming the new Marvel movies, so that we can still enjoy it, guys. Okay, listen, we gotta.
I wouldn't
head
mind if
this
we
off
would just
fast.
regulate it and tax the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just do it. I mean, if you want to kill yourself, go for it. If you want to take that many drugs or do
But we
whatever.
should tax suicide. is
Right.
the-
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
You have to go get a tax stamp
We
before
already
you
do
it.
to an extent because, when you get buried, you have to pay for that. So in a way, you're making money off.
Yeah, but you make the grave more expensive if they kill themselves, and then that goes towards
Like
vapes.
buying more drugs.
Yeah.
Makes sense. No, I don't really have anything that I'm not surprised by anything anymore. There's nothing I look at and go, wow, that's abnormal or that should be abnormal.
Yeah.
No, it's just I just look at people and go, you're weird. That is the weirdest thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen you do. For example, this podcast is very weird to me.
It is. It's an odd duck. It's an odd duck of a 2-hour sit down around a table. Dan, I think it's your card. You got time to go around about one more time? We're coming up on 9/11, but we're not there yet.
9/11.
Never forget.
Oh, is that when we ended? 9/11?
That's when it all ended. Vicky.
Ah.
Okay.
That was a weird day. I gotta say.
Hot takes.
That was a weird day.
Weird day.
Well, Vicky, you're married.
Yeah, I am.
So let's say that you
Pretty
weren't.
good at that part.
Let's say that you weren't married.
All right.
And
We can say I've said that too.
You have, I think you've had like 7 husbands. Is that what you said?
2 of them were mine.
Yes. So if you weren't married, what unusual, and this doesn't say if you weren't married, I'm adding that line to start the question, but what unusual trait do you find most attractive in a romantic partner?
Oh,
What unusual trait?
feet. I got a foot thing.
Oh,
And they don't have to be like perfect feet. Cause
they are the turtle of the.
They are the
human.
They
turtle.
are,
But
yeah.
yeah, their feet, there are people that I like long toes that, yeah. I just gotta
Big
show it.
chimpanzee fan.
I do. I like the monkey toes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah, I don't like them
Bonobos.
puffy. I like to see the muscles and the bones and the tendons in people's feet.
So like an Ethiopian foot.
I've never seen an Ethiopian's foot, but I
They're
don't
very
like
bony.
I don't like puffy swelled up feet.
Should get on OnlyFans.
You see this? I'm thinking about starting to sell my own feet pictures. Is
What
what
is
I'm
this?
gonna do.
Sharks.
Shark?
Oh,
Is that Jello? I'll be damned.
how cute!
Oh, that's why the spoons. Okay,
Thank you.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Anna, for
That is
running craft
crazy.
services and being a great production manager. This is.
But eyes and teeth are also.
So is this a drink or is it a? Okay.
I don't. You could try to drink that.
It's not a Jello shot. Don't try.
I was gonna say, damn.
Well, tried for as long as it could.
Jack, would you hand me a spoon?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
It is.
I am
just-
Jack.
Thanks.
This. What did you say this one was?
Best.
No. And that one?
Those are potpourri cards, which just means
Let's
stuff.
do the future. I like the future.
Thank you, Ani.
The future. And it's Dan.
Dan. The future is Dan.
What?
It pretty much is.
How long do you think it will be? But this should have been a Jack question. I think I'm going to change it.
You can change
I
it
think
to Jack.
I think
Oh, no.
Jack will have a better answer than Dan will.
Wow. The confidence there is
I'm gonna
amazing.
call it now. This should have been a Jared Oshel question.
Yeah. I just think he's probably thought about this more than any of the rest of us.
Guarantee it.
How long
Jack?
do you think it will be before the borders of the United States are challenged by a civil war?
By a civil war?
Tomorrow?
The borders, though. So how would it be a
Right?
civil
That's
war?
what I got confused about the first
How would it
time.
be a civil war if it's a on a border?
well,
like,
I
does that
want to
mean
redraw
Canada's?
where because someone's
Yeah, the definition
seceding.
of the borders.
Oh,
Are,
okay.
So yeah, you know it was in 1861. It was a challenge that there should be a border between Missouri and Oklahoma. You know,
Oh, okay.
but I do not foresee an American Civil War coming.
Good.
For one thing, even though tensions and divisions are about as high as they were in the lead up to the American Civil War,
We're so much lazier now.
well, it's a technological issue. A guerrilla force is not going to be able to challenge a mechanized modern nation with Stinger missiles And like,
Google.
you know, when the federal government had muskets, and you also had muskets, it was a much simpler proposition to engage in a civil war. So if anything, becoming an armed conflict to that level of, you know, severity is going to be ended very quickly, and I don't think, you know, unless it was some, I mean, I suppose you could have some kind of fight modeled after our wars in the Middle East, where the insurgent groups
Rocks at each other.
well, I just mean where the insurgent groups don't necessarily hold specific territory or run under a flag, in which case it's not truly by definition a civil war, because civil wars are two states or one state trying to become two budding states. So there could be some kind of conflict and strife, and I think if something like that happens, it's probably going to happen relatively quickly, because it seems like the coming election seems like it would be the lightning strike incident, but I don't think that will happen. I think it's more likely to die with a sigh than a thunderclap.
Yeah.
And Vicky, you're absolutely right. I have not thought about that question as much as
Well,
Plus,
I
we
don't
have
know.
the internet now.
Jack has.
Plus, we have the internet now. As a collective consciousness, we have this way of believing that we've externalized a lot of tension while just internalizing it now to our shared brain. Like, it's you can get a lot of energy out that way.
I've actually never been afraid to drive across state lines, but now I'm kind of concerned. I don't know if I'm going to make it back.
Well, next time you're getting an
kinda
abortion,
weird.
Dan,
Right.
just.
Fair enough.
Try one of these.
Another green card.
Another one.
Is it just because that pile's closer to you?
I like the teal. This question.
It does look nice with their pink.
Yes.
This question is very dumb.
Okay. Most of them are.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Dan,
Okay.
There we go. That's the way.
if you could magically cause a neutral nude photo of every human to be published publicly on the internet every year on their birthday, would you?
A neutral nude.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's an
I assume it means not a seductive pose.
Yeah.
Just like
just a
Them standing in the grocery store line with no
Standing
pants on.
yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
neutral
prisoners.
nude of?
Or as I call it, Tuesday.
Yeah. Everyone on their birthday.
Well, the good news is that most social media allows to block people that we don't want to see. So, I mean, and how's that displayed? I mean, is it displayed just socially, like,
It
or
just
is
posts to all of your stories, like your Instagram story, your Snapchat
or is
story,
it just
your
like you
Facebook
walk into a
story.
supermarket and there's a whole wall of nude photos of people on their birthday? I mean, because that would be awkward.
Okay, that's
Yeah, it's like where they used to put the Amber Alert
Right,
pictures.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On the
Happy
cartons.
birthday to John Smith over here. You know, it's like,
and I know this is your question to answer, but I just that answer right there, Taylor, has turned me. Not that I was for it at first, but it's turned me so far against it.
thank you.
Purely because when somebody's fucking birthday comes up, all I fucking see is happy birthday, and now it's just naked pictures too. Fuck you.
Exactly. That's my
With
point.
your goddamn stupid birthday, I
Yeah,
don't
but it
give
might
a
get us to
shit.
stop. But it could get us to stop with the happy birthday things on the social media, because now everyone's just avoiding your page on your birthday because they don't want to see you. You know?
And there's
It could-
people that had it for the whole month. We wouldn't have to look at them for a whole month.
Could also make people more healthy and more attractive because they know that it's coming up. So maybe they would
Maybe
take
love a
better
piece
care of
of
their
beer once
bodies
in a while.
because they would want to look better on their birthday.
Forget
But
beach
also,
bods, trying to get that birthday bod. Okay.
and what about the 106-year-old that lives forever? I mean,
Yep,
we've got to
yep,
deal
yep.
with that as well. So
Got to deal with it.
yeah. My
Oh
answer
my God!
is
You know how long those balls would be?
so my answer
Look
is
like a
yes.
turtle.
I would totally do that. I mean, that's my answer in a short nutshell.
Walking along and there'd be these two footprints
Speaking
and
of
then these other
nuts,
little.
yes, in a short nutshell, that's what I would do.
trail.
Yeah. Why not? Why
Oh,
not?
I can think of 1,000 reasons why not.
Yeah, really. Let's not do that.
What's
All
the
right. Is this the last
996th?
question of the night?
What time is it? Oh yeah, it probably will be.
All right.
It's 9:09. We're gonna
Pick
we're
a
gonna
card, any card.
go for
Well,
a
one
romantic
after.
question.
It's a romantic question.
Okay. Vicky,
Yes.
Ooh.
do you ever
are you
feel
doing?
guilt or shame? Oh, Jesus
No.
Christ.
Nope. I don't.
For those of you that can't see this, Vicky just dipped a chip in her Jello. I don't
sun chip.
understand what is going on.
Vicky Tremblay, Topeka comedian, just dipped a tomato basil sun chip
No,
into
cheddar cheese.
a cheddar cheese
Cheddar,
sun chip
even worse.
You said
into
that like it made it
blue
better.
raspberry Jello.
It tastes pretty good.
Okay, Vicky, do
Hmm.
you ever feel guilt or shame for romantically rejecting people who are interested in you?
No.
Do you feel
Why?
guilt or
What's your
shame
secret?
for dipping your chip in the Jello?
Yes, I do now. Since you guys have shunned me.
We're called out.
Me and Dan are going to follow you around, and when
Right.
you romantically
Have I
reject
ever
people,
felt
we're
guilt
going
or
to shame
shame? Let me but from somebody who for shunning them or rejecting them.
you. Yeah, romantic.
Think of the last person
Okay,
that
maybe yes, maybe one time.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Well, he was very clingy, and
I was not.
no, it wasn't you. But he was really, really clingy. And he
So
kept
you're
calling
saying there's a
me.
chance.
Right?
And I remember my mom made me feel bad about it because she overheard me. He told me that if I wouldn't go out with him, that he
Kill
would.
himself.
He did. And I said, and hung up. And my mom said, you should not have done that. What if he does?
That's
and I'm like,
absolutely what you should have done.
well, it's like.
When you say he did, do you mean he said that? Or
Yeah, he
killed
did say
himself.
that. No, he said
he
he
kill
was.
but
himself?
did he kill himself?
No.
Okay.
He did not. He did not. And
You should have saw Jack and I look at each other
Yeah,
when
but it
you
was
said,
just
and he did.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We were, oh.
And it wasn't. The thing is it was just like I felt like he was trying to manipulate
Yep.
me into being with him, so that
100%.
and I was like, I don't want to go out with you. You know, okay, well, my dad's got guns. Did you
Yeah.
need? You know,
I was going to say, yeah. It's like, Vicky's like, I'm on my way. I'll be over to help you.
So no, I don't think I ever did feel guilty
Nice.
for that.
Nice.
Just a real quick.
Right.
When you said he did, me and Dan looked at each other, and the look was, well, if this wasn't going to be the last question, it is now.
You want to talk about a
No.
killer deal?
Speaking of which, it is 9/11 now, so we are going to be yay for
Not
9/11.
yay.
And
But I mean,
we're
just
gonna-
yay, we made it all the way through.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's what the pilot said.
There's
man.
still plenty of food to eat.
The pilots didn't
I
say that.
know.
The pilots were alive.
Still
Okay,
got jerky.
right?
That is kind of good. You should try that.
Am I the only one that ate a cookie? Because those were amazing.
I had one. It was really
I
good.
had one.
Yeah.
I think we all ate one. Like one of us ate two. I don't know. But yeah. So we're gonna wrap up the podcast because it's been 2 hours. It's 9/11.
What are these?
Age-old sign that things should end. Those are. Don't worry about those.
That's the after the podcast question.
Okay.
He's in the middle of his sign off.
You'll know. You'll know by the end of the podcast. You'll know by the end of the podcast. Okay. So for those of you who haven't been on before, or those of you who haven't been on in a while, when we wrap up the show, I play a ukulele for like 90 seconds to 2 minutes or so, and we go in a circle, and everyone's just going to tell the camera, the audience, sum up your experiences, tell the audience anything you want them to think about over the next week. If you got things to plug a thing or two. We're going to start with Dan.
Oh, that's me. First of all, I would like to compliment Taylor on his ukulele skills. I've never heard anyone play quite like that, and I hope I never do again. As far as summing up my experience here, I will never forget it, although I will try to forget it. And I am now going to, once I get back to the state of Kansas, I'm never leaving it again because of
We're in
Jack's.
Kansas right now.
You are, but I'm not. So,
Kansas is a state of mind.
That's right.
exactly. No, this is great. I good experience, but a lot of weird questions, and I want to write some new ones for you before I come back again.
Yeah.
That's my sum up. So, thank you, Taylor.
Nice. Vicky.
Jam it.
Well, I really like being on your podcast, Taylor. It was fun. I got to talk and you all laughed at me. So next time I come, I'll bring softer food, and I really think y'all should try cheddar cheese, sun chips in Jello,
Don't do it.
and watch turtle sex.
Do not do that.
Maybe a different flavor of Jello.
I guess to sign off, I just say, it's not about the destination on this podcast. It's the friends you lose along the way.
Spay and neuter your friends, everybody. Have a good time.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming, everybody. Oh,
Who did you lose?
that was good food. That was good food. Oh, who did he lose?
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out after we've all watched it again. Over the week, just think about
Now we should have known.
which friend Jack lost. Ah, I missed.
No, you didn't. It came back and hit me.
That's what happens.
So ricochet bullet.
Ricochet bullet now.
What the fuck
And this is gonna be the worst. This is the most shots I ever. Something's wrong with them, guys. Something's wrong with them. There it is. Okay.
Oh, and there. And that one also ricocheted back and hit me. Why? This is no wonder you wanted me to set
This
seat.
whole podcast was an elaborate ruse for me to shoot you with a Nerf gun, Dan. Okay. Ever since you said I was from Missouri,
This was very good.
Yeah,
I've been
thank you.
plotting. I've been plotting. I'm the only.
I'm still trying to get to the shark that's in my Jello.
Oh,
You're trying to like cut through it with your spoon.
I was going to.
there's 3. I got 2.